Yo, what's good, everybody? Welcome back. You know, week 7 recap, episode 6, flag on the plate. We got a big ass panel today. Got some new faces. We'll start. My big headed brother Trey back in the building. My dog Sports Talk back. My boy Kieran back. My boy Young back. Hey, I'm gonna give ATL love too later, JJ, because y'all doing y'all thing. Got my boy Undisputed in here and Last Word. Appreciate y'all for coming out. But let's get into it because I've been saying I got some shit to say because this shit's crazy because the 49ers, I swear to God, are the most protected team in the league. Because you know what it is though, like it's crazy how we always give Cowboys flack and always talking mad shit about them, never giving over the hump. They always got these good teams and they never give over the hump. If we keep it in the buck, the last time both these teams won a Super Bowl, Trey was like 3 years old. The nigga's 30 now.
Hey, relax.
It's just keeping it up. So I don't understand how the Cowboys always get shitted on and flack for not getting over the hump, but the 49ers just make it to the NFC chip every year and then occasionally make it to the Super Bowl, and then they always lose. They're literally the prettier version of the Dallas Cowboys.
This is a better version.
I swear to God, but I'm saying though, I don't understand why is that thing.
I
don't understand though.
I got the question. So this is the answer to your question. Why do they get more of the flack and more of the ire? Because like I was saying earlier, everybody associated with them be doing a whole lot of this. They fan base every year all over the place. It's our year. It's our year. The owner sitting there. Yeah, we think we have a team that compete every year. The owner, the players, the fan base, everybody associated with the Dallas Cowboys does all of this. You put yourself in the spotlight all the time. They always want to be at the forefront. And then when you get cooked because that spotlight turned into a heat lamp after you standing under it for an hour and a half, now all of a sudden, oh, it's too hot, I'm sweaty. No, you wanted this spotlight. Go ahead and get cooked. That's what this is. The 49ers, yeah, they're the better version. But you also know what? People don't mind the 49ers being the better version because they quiet. Jed York.
I don't know about quiet, man.
Yeah, I don't know.
And George Kittle have been
talking real
crazy lately, man.
George Kittle have actually played in a Super Bowl. So at the very least, they're like, oh, okay, at least y'all got there. Y'all might really have a chance to do something. Like the Cowboys do all of this, and nothing comes of it.
But here's the thing, though.
Well, the only thing the 49ers haven't done is actually win the Super Bowl in the last 20 years because they've been to 2 Super Bowls.
Yeah,
I mean they've been to 2 Super Bowls, been to a bunch of NFC championships. So the only thing they're not doing is winning the Super Bowl. Cowboys are not even to win the playoff game. The Cowboys are not even winning a playoff game, winning 13 to 12 games and then out of there in the first or second round. So, I mean, that is the reason why I think that the 49ers do not get a lot of flack like the Cowboys do.
I just kind of feel as that that's why I said they're the prettier version because we all know the Cowboys hasn't. I don't remember the last time they even been to an NFC championship. They've always losing the division
96.
round. Yeah. Oh no, wasn't 07?
96, yeah. 1996.
Last time they no, I'm tripping. That was division round. That was division.
Okay, 07.
Yeah. So what I'm saying is that's why I said they're the prettier version, or just the better version, because they always make it past the divisional, but they just can't get over the hump. Like that's literally what it is. It is though.
I'll never take them serious if they get a better quarterback. I'll never take them serious. It's like I honestly think this could be like the best team in the league if they had a better quarterback. Like
who are you talking about? The Cowboys?
I'm talking about the Niners.
He's talking about the Niners.
Oh, the Niners. So you don't believe in Brock Purdy?
I don't.
No.
I don't.
Nah,
I don't understand like how you have all this talent and you just cannot win a Super Bowl. Like I always thought like quarterback, like they could probably win the Super Bowl.
Times have changed.
Times have changed.
You need an elite quarterback.
Yep.
That's
the difference. You have to have an equalizer. If you don't have, because you got to think about who these guys are playing in the Super Bowl. When you got to go against Patrick Mahomes, you got to go against in a couple of times Brady. Like you're talking about top 3, top 5 quarterbacks. They can beat. They can carry bad rosters. They can carry issues. They're not going to make mistakes in these big games. And I think that's the problem with the Niners is it's a combination of, again, not having that kind of quarterback, and it's a little bit on Kyle Shanahan too. His play calling gets suspect in those big games because
let's say with Kyle Shanahan, did y'all see that stat that came out about him?
We might need to have bro. It's like
when they're down by 5, 5 or more points, he's 0-29 in the fourth quarter.
Wow,
he has never won a game being down more than 5 points.
We might need to start having.
Does that include with my Atlanta Falcons? Do they include that loss?
I think, bro.
Yeah,
crazy.
Yes.
No, that's
crazy.
That's crazy. But
no, I'm asking, do they include that 28-3 loss that he cost my Atlanta Falcons this Super Bowl?
They might, but at the same time,
he said down 5. He said
that's
down 5.
insane.
I kind of want to see like one-score games in general, like 7-point games too, because like it's probably not that high either.
No, but again, what do you? When you look at all these good teams, who do we crucify in these moments, in these clutch games? We don't crucify the defense. We rarely sometimes don't crucify the play calling unless the quarterback is horrible. We always crucify the quarterback. Like we just got mad at Herbert for not doing it. We get mad at Lamar for not doing it. We get mad at Burrow, Josh Allen. That's the problem because we know that's the difference too. We know if those quarterbacks come through, that's who you rely on in those last moments. And honestly, like Brock Purdy didn't play bad last game. It was those last 2 drives when they needed him to play good. He didn't play good.
True.
That's the problem. True. Like those last 2 drives, he was trying to do too much. With all the weapons he had, all of that around him, that's why they lost, because he tried to do too much. And that's what the games come down to. That's what how championships are won. We go back to that Jimmy G Super Bowl. Why do we think that team lost? Jimmy G didn't make the throw. It wasn't anything else. That's all people remember. He couldn't make that throw. Because that's the difference, man.
I also think another reason why they lost is that like this O-line is bad without Trent Williams.
Oh yeah.
For sure. I mean, whenever you lose,
JJ said that last week, but like I think with Trent Williams, like this O-line is competent, but without Trent Williams, like this O-line is cooked.
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie. Even though Trent Williams is out, I ain't trying to hear that shit, bro.
Their O-line was garbage before that.
You know why I don't want to hear that? Because when we start doing somebody's missing here for the O-line on this other team and this other team, y'all don't want to hear that. They still had 2 opportunities to go down and score. 2.
I know.
Against a bottom 5 defense.
And that's the worst part. The Vikings are literally a bottom. I don't care.
I know.
I don't even care against from the mouth. Shout out to Neil Hunter. You my dog. Really like that. That's damn near Superman. I don't care. That defense is trash. And the fact that y'all
I understand that, but like you gotta agree though that like the run game.
I'm about to get you in there right now.
The run game would have been way better if he was there. Because like
I think the only offensive lineman that means as much to their team as Trent Williams does to that line is Jason Kelce to the Philadelphia Eagles, especially because of that push play. Absolutely, yes.
Eagles line would still be very, very still solid, even if Jason.
But their offense wouldn't be the same. Their offense would not be the same.
No, I'm saying, look, hear me. Their offense would be a huge knock because they wouldn't be able to do like the tush push, all that other stuff, right? But like. They will still be more competent than what we're witnessing with the 49ers. The 49ers outside of Trent Williams do not have like any their old linemen are just not good. They just aren't. Colton McKivitz is like the next best guy on their own line. That's not saying much.
And we do need to give props to Brian Flores too, because he took away their run game. Like their old line was out, but he was like. You're not running football.
It goes to show for the Niners, bro, when they're not able to have the guys on the field that they're able to do, and they have to put it in, Brock Purdy's hands. Respect to him once again for doing what he was doing for the last 15 or so games. You know what I'm saying? I gotta give you props for that. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's hard for you to go in there and go do that. But everything that I was saying about him last season, now people are saying it now. I don't know what took y'all so long to even start saying that. I should have been saying this since last season. But a lot of the stuff that they realized, a lot of people, 49ers fans are gassing him, trying to say he's that guy, he's elite, all that stuff. Bro, he's cool. He respect to him because he knows how to process the field very well. He understands plays. He really digested that offense very quickly. that doesn't go change the fact that that offense was still very simple to grasp. At the end of the day, it's still NFL. Even though it's an NFL offense, you know, he still has those guys in Deebo Samuel, Brandon Ayuk, George Kittle, getting them playmakers the ball. CMC. That team didn't average under 30 points until all these injuries started piling up on them. I'm just being honest, bro. Realistically, once they get back, it's gonna be still a tough team to watch. Like, they're gonna be good, but like, I mean, it is what it is. That's what was going to happen once you lost the guys that were helping your quarterback.
Let me ask you this.
I will say. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, I was going to say because just to get the top of
like, I was going to say, shout out Christian Darrisaw.
He put Nick Bosa in the box.
He's nice though.
Yeah.
He was an injury,
Nick Bosa won one rep.
One
rep.
Yeah, that's disgusting.
Wasn't it one out of 17 or 15?
Hey, Trent, who said that he was overrated? I'm just gonna put that out there. Me and Trey.
The Nick Bosa, TJ Watt.
They were saying Nick Bosa.
I don't think Bosa's overrated.
No. I think
they're all top tier, bro. Like,
I'm gonna say they're all.
You can still be a top tier player and be overrated.
No, like
I don't disagree.
Regardless, I find like the top 5 edges one regardless.
Like, if you think Nick Bosa clears or you think TJ Watt clears, then probably
That's kind of where you lose me. I think the only one that clears in that elite tier is Myles Garrett. After that, all those guys can. If you got them at 2, I'm not gonna be mad.
Thank you.
I might not have them there, but if you do, I'm not gonna be mad.
Even last season,
TJ Watt.
Even last season, when Bosa.
Wait, hold on. What'd you say last word?
TJ Watt is clear as day better than Nick Bosa right now, bro. I'm not gonna lie to y'all.
No.
The TJ Watt versus Nick Bosa.
I don't know.
Hey, hear me when I say this.
I said this before. With Pittsburgh, it's the system, not necessarily the linebacker, bro. Because they just reel them off back to back to back. It's the system in Pittsburgh, not the linebacker. And the minute he get up out of there, I guarantee you, there's another linebacker that will put up just as many sacks as TJ Watt.
I don't know.
I mean, Highsmith
I will say this about that. I will say this about that.
TJ Watt for being in a good system, bro. We don't do that for any other guy.
I will say this. Last year we did have a bottom 10 defense without him. So I'm not sure if like.
And I'm saying they win more games with them than they're.
I'm not two right now. Listen. Do I agree that like another edge rusher can like be like a borderline top 10 or a top 10 edge rusher? Yeah, but not TJ Watt level. I disagree. This is the best.
Let me answer this so we can move on from this 49ers subject.
Yeah, sorry.
Does anybody think that the 49ers are overrated?
Huh?
No, I don't think they're overrated.
No.
Overrated. No.
I'm gonna be honest.
They're
with
a top
bro.
3 team. They still are.
I'm gonna be honest with you, bro. I told you. I thought realistically the NFC was still close between the Eagles and them, and then the Eagles wanted to go be weird and do what they did. So I'm not gonna lie. It's over with for them again. Once again,
I got something to say about that. I got something to say about that fucking game.
Once again, the Niners are gonna go to the NFC chip. The Niners are gonna go to the NFC chip. Maybe even lose before that, but I haven't done well. And lose again because the Eagles want to be weirdos and want to create the Justice League and the Avengers. Put them on
it's not being weirdos. So
that's weird. No, that's weird.
Speaking of that, I'm gonna start with last word, and I'm gonna let everybody else get it off. So the Eagles traded for All-Pro safety Kevin Byard. God damn, it's like the GM Howie, bro. You are a goat. You are a goat GM. You are.
Yeah.
You might. They might.
Hold on.
Yeah, Howie
He keeps on making moves, bro.
I will say this though. They have to win this year. They have to.
Have to? Wait. Why do they have to win this year?
Because like, there's
don't ask that question right now. You know why?
So many guys getting older.
I don't know why.
The O-line is old. The secondary's old now.
The DBs are getting old.
Like Darius Slay is like gonna be 33 in January.
But it's not like they're gonna fall off a cliff next year.
They have a 2-3 year. The thing is though, the way that a lot of people are looking at, right, when it comes to like how they're getting all these players with such big contracts and stuff like that, their cap situation is about to go down in hell in about 2 to 3 years. And so they don't handle it now and get it done.
I agree. Yeah.
But the thing is, your players are declining at the same time. These players, even for as good as Darius Slay is, he's been very good and for a really long time. But at the end of the day, he's going to start declining. You know what I'm saying? And so it's actually very crazy to me that they have all these like older players that are as good as they are while mixing them with the young talent that they have. So that way they had the cap room in the first place to be able to sign these guys. And they have to win. I'm gonna be honest. In my opinion, if they don't win, they're frauds. I'm just gonna be honest right now.
Well, okay. See,
they don't win. They're fraudulent. Because
the reason why.
Go ahead.
The reason why I want to be devil's advocate is because there is a potential GOAT on the other side of the conference that's very hard to beat in general. And Patrick Mahomes.
I do not care this time. I just don't care this time.
I'm trying to be fair.
You added safety number 4. You added safety number 4 on your team.
You know why I don't want to hear that, Riddell? Because you can be the ones who can beat Riddell. Peyton Manning had multiple times where he could have beat Tom Brady, even his historic year in 2004. And then he laid an egg. So I ain't trying to hear, there's a potential GOAT on.
And it's not like Mahomes. It's not like Mahomes. He's been starting for 5 years. He's won 5 Super Bowls. He's been beaten.
Exactly.
You added safety number 4.
Shout out Joe Burrow and Tom Brady.
Number 4 to your team.
You
have an all-time Eagles team. Once again, this time now it moves up. Because I was already saying this year, even last year, they had an all-time Eagles team. This one now goes ahead and tops it because you just added all this talent. It's like not fair.
Wait.
Actually, why are you waiting? Why are you waiting that? Why are you waiting that? Why are you waiting that?
Can I say something real quick?
Slow down.
I think in order for this team to win the Super Bowl, I think Jalen Hurts has to play better. I don't
agree with that.
He has the most turnovers right now.
He's
fumbles.
I think Hurts is just in a slump right now. If that makes sense.
I don't know if it's a slump, my boy. The reason why is for some reason Jalen Hurts, and he makes the extended plays. He's good at it, bro. We saw the stiff arm throw. That was ridiculous.
That was crazy.
But at the same time, he does hold on to the ball to his detriment a lot, having this elite offensive line. And if that O-line is not as elite against some other teams that they probably will play, like the 49ers, if they play the 49ers and the Chiefs too, the Chiefs defensive line this year is better than it was last year with Chris Jones. So if things start collapsing, Jalen Hurts just tries to do too much. And that's to his detriment right now. And it's not like he has Shane Steichen who can make things a little bit more within his favor.
Why does nobody call him a terrorist? Because Josh Allen, that sounds just like Josh Allen to me, and I hear a completely different side of that.
Well, this is the thing. So
because of the record.
I mean, we see.
I was about to say we see who's a fraud. We see who's one's fraudulent and one's still winning.
Wait, what you saying last word?
But
I said we see Jalen Hurts get it done. That's the difference.
But shouldn't he get it done with an elite O-line, 2 elite receivers, an elite defense? Shouldn't he get it done?
I mean, he was just in the Super Bowl.
Elite tight end.
I mean, it's week 7. You got to give it time.
No, I get that. I'm just. What I'm trying to say is we have the way that Riddell just explained the issues of Hurts right now. You could say the same thing about Josh Allen. However, Josh Allen doesn't have an elite offensive line. He doesn't have an elite run game. He is the run game. He has Diggs. Yeah, he's good. But he doesn't have the plethora of weapons that Jalen Hurts has.
James Cook was doing pretty good earlier this year. James Cook has been solid this year. James Cook is solid.
I'm not gonna lie. Gabe
I
Davis
think you're discounting the Bills.
Gabe Davis on any other team is a wide receiver.
I'm not discounting. I'm not discounting. I'm just saying this is almost the same conversation you having about the Cowboys and the Niners. You can almost have the same thing about the Bills getting shit on more, and the Eagles don't because they're prettier and they don't talk as much. It's almost the same thing.
That's probably.
The Bills been talking ever since they didn't make the playoffs.
What were you saying last word? Say it again.
No, I think a lot of that has to do with the expectations that's been put upon these teams. I mean, whenever one team makes the Super Bowl and the other one does it, they're going to get the benefit of the doubt more so than the other. That's just how the game goes, and that's how it is. But I get what you're saying from the perspective of Hurts is doing what Josh Allen is doing, and he has a way better team around him. I can agree with that. But at the same time, this has always been a problem with Josh Allen. He's always turned the ball over. That's the difference. Since he came into the league as a rookie, he's always turned the ball over. Last year he led the league in I believe at one point he led the league in interceptions before Dak Prescott shit the bed. And then after that, he come back this year. He's tied for first with interceptions in the league with Jalen Hurts. So this is who he is. He's a boom or bust player, and that's always been my biggest problem with Josh Allen.
I do have a question. I do have a question regarding Jalen Hurts, and I'm just, we have these conversations with people because Josh Allen, I said the same thing about if it wasn't for that Chiefs game, 2 years ago, how we talking about Josh Allen? If it wasn't for the Super Bowl, how we talking about Jalen Hurts?
Wait, okay.
Man, listen.
That's kind of fair. That's kind of fair, though. He's got a point.
Okay, now if that's the case, then if that's what you're going with, then keep going. If Burrow doesn't make the Super Bowl while Mahomes lays an egg, what are the conversations we having about him?
That's true.
Still, considering he's the only one who beat Mahomes like that twice in the regular season, they're probably.
We're not about to act.
No, he probably will still be in the
I ain't
conversation.
gonna do the Burrow shit today because I ain't trying to wild.
All right,
That's another shit, brother.
This is what I'll say about the whole Josh Allen versus Jalen Hurts thing. So one, I think part of the issue that I have grading both of those guys on kind of the same scale is that while Jalen Hurts has improved a lot since he's gotten into the NFL, the fact of the matter is he is not physically what Josh Allen is. Exactly. Like he's just not. Like he's just not Josh Allen has a better arm. Josh Allen is, for all intents and purposes, a better athlete. Like we think of Jalen Hurts.
I don't know if I agree to that one though.
No,
he's not a better athlete.
Let's make this very clear. We think of Jalen Hurts as some like dynamic runner. He's really not.
He isn't.
He's a good runner. Do not get me wrong. He's not Lamar Jackson. He's not Cam Newton. He's not even Josh. Like
he's not even Justin Fields.
Yeah,
he's 100% not Justin Fields. But Josh, I think
when healthy, Kyler's a better runner.
He is. Absolutely. Hurts is more of a Russ kind of runner. He's not.
Bro, Kyler Murray looks like he's stolen candy from a store and he's running away from you.
Hurts is like Russell Wilson. That's what
I'm watching him run though. I'm
gonna tell you like this. You're right. When he's running with the football, he looked like a little fourth grader that got his hand stuck in the cookie jar, and now he's trying to run away from a whooping. But guess what? While he running away from that whooping, he running 4-3, dog. It might look funny. It might look funny, but pound for pound, Kyler Murray might be the best athlete in the NFL outside of maybe like freaking Tyreek Hill. Like,
I don't know about that one, man. I think Myles Garrett.
Myles Garrett up there for sure. Myles Garrett
is up there. I think Myles Garrett the best athlete in the league.
I'm saying pound for pound.
Like, pound for pound.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Pound for pound. What I'm trying to say is this. Like, I think the issue, one, I'm grading them differently. One, because I just never expected Jalen Hurts to even be in this conversation. Agreed. Also, when we talk about the Eagles, I'm going to say this again. Shane Steichen has to be brought up. Because right now, like part of the reason why they're turning the ball over more and Jalen is like, why does this look so disjointed? Why does Jalen Hurts not look the same? Because
he lost his offensive coordinator.
It's not clean. The offense, like Brian Johnson, I want him to do well. Like, as somebody who wants to see like black coaches get they do, I want dude to succeed. But right now, this offense looks really simple. And it's like, it looks simple, not in a, we're running the same concept out of different formations and we're finding creative ways to run the same thing. No, it just looked bland. It looked like you had somebody who was chefing it up in the kitchen, and now you got somebody who only know how to use salt and pepper.
But also for Josh Allen, I think he got caught up in what happens with like propaganda with the media, and it happens to about one quarterback a year. We've seen it this year so far with Justin Fields. Someone gets pushed unnecessarily. Josh Allen was crowned the MVP at the start of last season, and people just ran with it, and the media just pushed it for the entire offseason, up until the regular season, up until really he messed up his elbow. And there was just this unrealistic expectation set for him where, I mean, we're not even halfway through the season. He's already anointed the MVP. And it happened the entire offseason leading up to it. And we saw the same thing with Justin Fields.
I damn near say it was not.
No, I mean, he's spitting, bro.
No, for sure. I'm saying it was with a lot of quarterbacks who's gotten that proper propaganda.
I mean,
but that's the thing is that they're almost like the clock is up on these guys. So they start pushing that they have to be something, way higher than what they're supposed to be. And it ends up making them fall flat on their face, especially when it comes to like the media expectation. And it was like, why were they even in this conversation to begin with? Why was Justin Fields being talked about as a top 10 quarterback in the offseason? Why? He didn't belong in that combo. I've heard people dead ass saying he was top 12. What?
Yeah, I get that logic. I get Justin Fields logic.
What?
No, like the Justin Fields logic was based off upon he got a weapon. He's still a dynamic runner. At the end of the day, he was doing that. Ending the season, they saw that it looked like he was clicking for him. So it was like, okay, he's gonna be able to now go and push and do certain things, right? he didn't so far. So that up until like the last 2 games he played against, not really good defenses, but at least he was still trying to get a groove going. He looked good in those games, right?
Yeah.
Then he got hurt. Not Justin Fields, but Jalen Hurts, when he was getting pushed into certain conversations, bro, you got to think about the fact that before he got hurt last season, he was still in top 3 MVP candidacy and was potentially going to win it, because if he didn't get hurt, he goes what?
MVP.
You said what?
If he doesn't get hurt, he wins MVP.
Exactly.
Also, this is the other thing I'll say, just to piggyback off of that. Even if we talk about the Super Bowl performance, like, that wasn't just, he played in a Super Bowl. He was putting a beautiful performance together.
Put on the masterclass.
Yeah, he put on the fucking clinic.
The only mistake he made
was that fumble.
That was
literally it. Bro, they probably win the game if you don't fumble.
Everything else was absolutely perfect. He was on fire. Like, we talk about Joe Burrow being in that Super Bowl. Joe Burrow didn't play like that in the Super Bowl
at all.
He still played very well though. Don't drop it.
I don't know about very well.
Considering he did not have the offensive line that Jalen Hurts had, he played pretty well.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
especially you going up against Aaron Donald and Von Miller as a pass rush.
Let Jalen Hurts have gone over there. We already know the Eagles winning that Super Bowl too. I just need y'all to know that.
I get it. Situations obviously matter, but my point is this: there were some things that were shown last year throughout the course of the regular season, and once he got into some of the biggest stages in football, where you're like, oh, okay, dude might belong in these conversations.
Right.
Even now, like, one of the things that I truly worried about him was, okay, cool, this offense last year is good, but I need to see you be able to consistently just make more plays outside the structure of the offense, because that tells me is like, oh, this ain't about the offense. This is about you. And the thing that he's shown me in flashes this year is, okay, despite the fact that I might mess up because the spacing on some of this offensive stuff isn't great, so I might be turning the ball over, I might be doing a little too much, he's also making plays that help win games. Josh Allen does the same. It's just that Josh Allen also, he's a high variance player. Like, some guys in the NFL are like that. Like, some guys is like, okay, cool, it's on my shoulders, I gotta go win it. And sometimes it goes well and sometimes it don't. But because you gotta live with, like, you want the highs, you gotta live with the lows. Like,
I agree. I think with every great quarterback, at least in this day and age, you're gonna have to live with those lows. I think the only quarterback that can give you those highs and not the lows really is Mahomes. Like that, you see. I mean, we see it with Justin Herbert, we see it with Joe Burrow, we see it with Josh Allen, all these Lamar, all these elite guys,
all of them.
You see, the only one is really Mahomes, and he will still give you one game a year. That's just like, what are you doing? But he one game expected. So that's why I always say you got to chase the highs, and you just have to take the lows and just hope they don't come, in the playoffs. Yeah.
Hey, yeah. Oh, let's move on though, because I'm gonna say my little some shit I gotta get off about this next game. But I'm gonna let all y'all go first. I'm gonna start with last words. I think you a Dolphins fan, right? You a Dolphins fan, right?
Yeah, I'm a Dolphin.
Yeah. So speaking of that game, I just want to ask you, and I'm gonna ask everybody else: did we overrate the Dolphins?
Hell no, bro. We're not overrated at all. And the reason, listen, let me say this first and foremost. I am the biggest critic of my own team because first and foremost, I'm a football fan before anything. So I'm gonna call it like how it is. But we got to understand something. We went into that game. We were down 2 offensive linemen already. Teron Armstead. I'm at the point where they could cut this dude tomorrow. I'll be all right. He's been a waste of money since he got here. Connor Williams was down with a groin injury, game time decision. Then Isaiah Wynn leaves within, I believe, the second series of the game. So you got 3 backups in positions on the O-line against probably the best front 7 in the league. That's already spelling disaster. And then to make the matters worse, you have an entire secondary of backups except for Javon Holland at this point. So it's not looking good from that perspective. So the fact that they went into that game in Philly, and by the way, I don't want to sit here and complain about refs, but that was probably one of the worst officiated games I've ever seen in my life. That's not me saying you lost the game because of officials, but that is me saying they had a role and it played a part. That shit was absolutely terrible, bro. But that's another conversation. But anyway, to go into that game on the road with the depleted front you had, for Tua to still put together a solid performance, in my opinion, and to not only just put together a solid performance, but have opportunities to actually take the lead or tie the game, I was impressed because this is a team that a lot of people had us coming into this season losing to pretty badly because of the fact that they didn't know what we were going to be. But it just added on to it when all these guys got hurt, and you got Ramsey who got hurt in the training camp and all these other things. It just seemed like a recipe for disaster. And the fact that they lost by 14 points on the last minute drive that really sealed the game, I could live with that. Now, I'm not saying I felt good about losing, but everything worked against you that game, man. So it's like I can't really be upset about what the outcome was. I can't be. But when I say we frauds, nah, I wouldn't say that. I think we're better than what we showed Sunday.
Go ahead, sports talk.
So it's funny, all these Philly fans and NFL fans are coming out the woodworks like, man, all this holding, these same people that's saying this was holding back in the Super Bowl said that shit wasn't. When you can clearly see that motherfucker's pulling on him. I made a video. You can see him pulling the jersey. And it's the same people that are saying, oh, those were holdings yesterday. Or the same Philly fans are like, oh, no, that wasn't holding. Oh, wild. Miami Dolphins, the corners, yeah, you guys are going to get, hopefully, Jalen Ramsey and Howard and all those guys back in the secondary. Do we trust Tua the same as some other elite quarterbacks to carry a team that doesn't have a great defense? No, we don't. That's why I say you guys are frauds. To a degree. I'm not going to say that you guys are like frauds to the degree like you guys won't make the playoffs or anything like that, but you guys don't have the defense that can support Tua also, because Tua's not going to throw for 500 yards every game. I mean, it's just simple facts, right? And we can all sit here, all 9 of us. I don't think any of us would disagree that Tua's not going to be the kind of guy that's going to carry a bad defense all the way.
And I can't lie to you. I said I was going to wait. Fuck all that. I ain't going to lie to you, bro. Y'all looking kind of fraudulent. And the reason why I say y'all looking kind of fraudulent is because if you look at y'all wins, I think y'all played the Chargers, defense is ass.
Yeah.
The Giants, we're not good. But our defense at the time still, we're good.
It's looking better. The last 3 games.
Yeah, but it's looking better. But the wheels pulled some bullshit, having Trey Hawkins on Tyreek Hill 101, no covers here. That shit was dumb. We actually go, because I feel like y'all played the only six.
They beat the Patriots by 7.
The Bills, they played the Bills too.
No, I know the good teams, but I'm saying like the bad teams they played.
The Panthers.
It's been the Panthers,
and the Broncos.
It's
Panthers
been
and
the
the
Patriots, the Broncos.
Yeah, so look, it's the two. Look, so y'all played the 2-4 Chargers, the 2-5 Patriots, the 2-5 Broncos, the 2-5 Giants, and the 0-6 Panthers. In the times when y'all really played a good team, y'all comfortably lose. The Bills game, y'all played like dog shit, and then the Eagles game, I feel like, especially like on the O-line, D-line standpoint, y'all got dominated because I'm sorry, -7 rushing yards in 1 half. Bro.
Yeah. But see, that I'm gonna be honest, Trent, that's gonna be the Dolphins' problem. Like, styles make fights. If you're an honest, because I'm a Dolphins fan too. Honestly, we are an extremely finesse team. When you start playing these fronts and you make us one-dimensional, now you're saying, "Hey, Tua, go beat us." We all know that Tua's not going to drop back 40 times and beat anybody. Like that's just the reality of the situation of it. So, to me, at least I thought we could get if we were going to make a run, we were going to have to be the 1 seed, and we were going to have matchups that were favorable for us. That's the only way we were going to make a run as a Dolphins fan. Now it's just like, because I'm not mad that we're beating the bad teams. That's what good teams are supposed to do. I mean, I'm just mad that
you only play your schedule.
Yeah, I'm just mad that in these good games, when we play the other good teams, we look heavily outmatched. Especially in the O-line, D-line. Like, again,
you guys lose the trenches badly, really badly.
And that's the problem.
I agree with that, though. Like, this is my thing, right? It's going to naturally be a drop-off from your first to second stringer. That's just what it is. And you're going up against Jalen Carter, Hassan Reddick, Nolan Smith, Jordan Davis, Fletcher Cox. You got 3 guys who wouldn't even be touching the field with other teams as your starters against probably the best front seven in the league. I mean, you got to be realistic at some point. What are you expecting?
Like, but my
so at what point do you start to say this team's fraudulent? Because they go against a couple more teams that are playoff contenders, i.e. or Super Bowl contenders. And when this keeps happening, when are you going to finally admit?
I would say this.
I'll never take the Dolphins.
If they go out in Germany and they get embarrassed by the Chiefs, then at that point everything is up in the air. It's fair. Because as it stands right now, they lost a 2-possession game when they had 5 or 6 guys out who are key pieces on their team. Like it's only fair that you take in the full context. They lost. You gotta keep this in mind too. They had a chance to tie the game. Tua threw a bad pass. That sealed the game.
That's okay. And like, to me, if we would have had a healthy O-line, that wouldn't have changed anything with how the Eagles are, because the Eagles have dominated everybody.
Because I'm gonna put like this.
I've dominated everybody.
I know people.
I'm not saying they didn't have the edge in that area, because I agree with that completely. But would it have been as bad?
There's one quarterback they didn't dominate. I'm just saying.
I don't agree with that at all.
Okay.
I just feel like there was too many other problems that I saw. Now I don't care about like the refs and the flags that should have been called.
Yeah, I agree with that completely.
There was too much shit going on, and I'm gonna be honest with you. I know Xavier and Howard was out, but I'm gonna be honest with you. He's cooked anyway. Just that's why
he is cooked.
He's the two.
He's still your best.
He's still your best. I will say this. So for me, when it comes down to the Dolphins being overrated or fraudulent, the reason why I'm not willing to say that. I think they can possibly beat a lot of potential other playoff teams. I mean, even if we go back to last year, they almost beat the Bills in the playoffs, and they did beat the Ravens last year. So it's not like they haven't beat good teams with this current roster, right? And my thing with the Dolphins compared to like the Lions and the Cowboys, who I would give the overrated title to, is like when you're up against a team that kind of takes away stuff that you're good at, how well you perform. Now, the Bills game, nasty work. We already talked about nasty work. But I think they played well against the Eagles. I mean, the Tyreek Hill drop touchdown. When is he going to do that? It was
2 of them. Here. This is the thing that I've always said about Tyreek Hill. Being a fan of the Chiefs, I've watched every game that man's ever played in. That man's hands is not elite.
I agree.
That's why I can never say he's the number 1 wide receiver. I can never do it. Because he don't have the hands to be in that conversation.
Well, the speed is just crazy.
Not being a conversation.
My thing with
not as number 1.
For number 1, no. Top 3 or top 4? Yes. Number 1? No.
I agree. Top 3.
Okay, so
who's better right now? No.
Wait, hold on. Last one.
There's 2, arguably 3 guys better than Tyreek Hill.
No.
I'm asking you to name.
I had 2 guys.
There's not a receiver this season that's better.
Yes.
There's not.
You can argue 3. Yes, you can.
There's not
a receiver this year that's better than
Tyreek. Okay, hold on. Time out. If you want to put an asterisk on who's playing the best right now, it is easily Tyreek Hill. Fine, that's fine. But I think what Sports Talk is saying is talking about overall. Yes, you can argue there's 3 receivers over Tyreek Hill.
That's what I'm asking.
You can argue 2.
Devontae Adams, Justin Jefferson, Stephon Diggs. There's your 3.
Diggs and Adams, no. Jefferson.
How you can't wait? Hold on. How can you argue Justin Jefferson but not take Adams? That makes no sense.
No, Jettison.
Wait, hello. You could argue. The only
saying not arguing take Adams is illogical.
You could
arguing Diggs.
Adams, you can argue Adams, and you can argue Jefferson. You cannot argue no Stephon Diggs.
Why you can't argue Stephon Diggs? Wait, time out. Wait, hold on. Let me ask you this last word. What does Justin Jefferson do better than Tyreek Hill?
He's a better route runner. I think he got better hands.
Okay.
I think he
attacks. Wait, hold on.
He has a hot.
I'm gonna keep going when I watch this. What does Devontae Adams do better than what's his name? Tyreek Hill.
He a better route runner, better hands.
Now,
his ball at point of attack.
What does Stephon Diggs do better than Tyreek Hill?
Grenade.
I don't think nothing. He does nothing better than Tyreek Hill. He does nothing
Okay.
He's arguing.
He doesn't have better hands than Tyreek Hill.
He doesn't.
Okay.
My issue with this argument is I think Tyreek Hill is better with a lot of receivers.
I think Tyreek Hill is.
You can go Jamar Chase. You can make more conversations of receivers.
No, Riddell. Here's the
better
thing.
route runners and better hands.
No. Here's the thing, Riddell. You can say the same thing about Terry McLaurin, but Terry McLaurin is on the same level as Tyreek Hill. Stephon Diggs is in this conversation. Terry McLaurin is not
he is.
Stephon
Diggs in the conversation. He is.
How is okay?
Diggs is arguably a top receiver.
I generally do not understand.
Right, this is you.
I generally do not understand how we talk about receivers with hands, route running, and all this other stuff that makes him elite wide receiver and also added production. Stephon Diggs is the same thing with Jefferson Tatum Adams, and somehow, some way, he's not in these conversations.
Why is AJ Brown not in these?
No. I'm not saying
because he's not better than them.
He's not a route runner.
What is
AJ Brown?
What is this gap between Stephon Diggs and AJ Brown? I don't understand.
Okay, so let me ask
route running. Route running for sure.
This is a perfect question.
The gap is the technique, bro. The technique is night and day. AJ Brown is a physical specimen. He wins matchups based off overpower.
That's an important skill, though, right?
That's not a skill, bro.
Wait.
I don't know. I hear everybody talk about the 90s, like, all they did was overpower people. I hear the same damn combo.
Bro, listen, being bigger than the guy is not a skill, bro. I'm not giving him that. He's
bigger than everybody else.
Wait, everyone slow down for a second, because we arguing all these points. And you said something that don't make sense if you're going to argue for Tyreek Hill. Because if we're being honest about Tyreek Hill's skill set, the thing that makes him special opposed to other receivers is his God-given speed. That is not a quote-unquote skill as in something you can acquire. Like
you can acquire speed.
It's an attribute.
Not Tyreek Hill. You cannot.
You acquire bulk too.
Wait, let me finish.
You can acquire. Listen.
Let him finish.
I get what you're saying.
Let Trey finish.
You keep going.
Wait, just let me finish.
No, you good. Go ahead, bro.
If you're not going to give AJ Brown his strength and being able to play through contact because he's a bigger wide receiver than some of these guys, then don't try and put Tyreek Hill above guys like Devontae Adams, Justin Jefferson, Stephon Diggs, because the thing that makes him special as opposed to those other guys is a God-given gift, just like AJ Brown. It's the same thing.
Okay.
It's just
let me ask you this though. When did I say he was the best in the league because he was fast? I never implied that, bro.
Nah.
He's the best in the league.
I think
it's
Hold on. I think he responded that way because Sports Talk said he has no case as the best receiver in the league. I just think that's crazy.
That's absurd.
You're just wrong.
I'm saying he has no
bro,
case
being one. Look. It's simple as this to me, bro. Being one of the most dynamic receivers, being one of the most, in my opinion, I want to say versatile. You could plug him in anywhere on any offense, and he'll be able to turn that offense into a potential top 10 offense in the league. Being able to do what he does at that size, being able to go up and grab the ball that he does, even if he doesn't have elite hands in everyone else's opinion, he's still able to go up there and grab the football, still create a lot of contested catches, be able to get open on routes, whether you be using his speed or using his route runner, because he's still a great route runner at the end of the day. And he's able to do all the things that he is. Able to do all the things that he's able to do at the receiver position at the size he is, pound for pound. He's one of the best players in the league. Well, obviously, I don't think anyone disagrees with that. But for sure this year. And I understand your point. I got a question for
Adele.
So this year he's number one.
I love the fact that you always bring up AJ Brown. And I kind of feel like with AJ Brown, I feel like niggas be stat watching because I'm actually, this is a simple question for you, Adele.
What's up?
Do you think AJ Brown has gotten so much better than he did his last year on the Titans?
So much better? Not so much better.
Cool. Where did you have this conversation of AJ Brown being better than Stephon Diggs in 2021?
I had them in the same tier.
Are you
when I did my ranking, AJ Brown moved me.
Yo, can I respond to that?
There's no fucking way you had.
Hold on, bro. Can I respond to that? Like, what about Stephon Diggs in his last year in Minnesota? Has he gotten so much better?
Who you asking?
Yes.
Trent?
I think he has become a better route runner. I think he has gotten to be a better route runner.
I'll disagree right there. I already started disagreeing.
Stephon Diggs,
his route running has been the same since he left Minnesota. It's been the same.
I don't think he's been the same. I think he's been the same since 2020. When that hit that 2020, I think that's his peak. And his peak to me is a top 3 receiver. All I'm saying is, if you didn't think that AJ Brown was close to Stephon Diggs in 2021, ain't shit really changed that till he got a 1,400-yard season oh, we might have to start a conversation.
That's the same thing that happened with Stephon
Yeah,
Diggs,
that's the
though.
same argument he's making when Stephon Diggs left the Vikings to join the Bills.
Yeah, but I didn't know that y'all had Stephon Diggs and AJ Brown in the same tier in 2021. What the fuck?
Is that really crazy though?
But
What?
like you rose Stephon Diggs to top 3 level once you
defense,
left the Vikings and went to the Bills.
I had him top 10 though. So he was the
But you rose into top 3.
Okay,
is the point.
to be fair, in 2021, I didn't have AJ Brown that high just because he was hurt. So,
bro, all I'm saying is that I don't understand how when we talk about wide receivers and we always talk about Jettis with the hands, right, or in deep threats, the yak. The only real complete separator between Diggs and Jettis is the yak. That's the complete separator.
How about say
the hands?
Jettis has better hands.
I think Jettis is.
You can say Jettis has better hands, but it's not that far off. Is my point. The complete separator is the yak.
I think
the contested catches is a gap.
Yeah. No, it's not. No, it's not. No, it's not.
What?
No.
Wait.
I'm not gonna lie. This contested catch with Jettis is starting to get drugged. Like it's really getting crazy.
He goes up and gets it, but it's not that far.
Hold up. Let's have a real conversation before we start going too far left into the weeds. Like I love Justin Jefferson. Don't get me wrong, and he does make some crazy catches. But we not about to sit here and act like dude's Megatron or something. Like
like we.
Oh no. We're not saying that. We are not saying that.
No, we're not saying that.
I know you're not.
I'm just saying. I think what Trey is saying. After we saw the one-handed catch on the Bills,
it got drugged. That was the problem.
But I've been watching Vikings.
I agree with you with that. I agree with you.
I'll be seeing Jettis.
Everyone stop for a second because you brought up that Bills game, right? You know what everyone forgets about that Bills game? So we were also caught up on Jettis catch.
Stephon Diggs
made a very similar catch in the same game.
It wasn't similar, but like
he sure did.
That was
okay.
It was a great catch, but it wasn't.
Okay, I know what you're saying. It was an awesome catch, but I don't.
It was a great catch. But
all my point is,
well, the Bills player also helped. Micah Hyde also helped Justin Jefferson catch that ball. Let's be real.
I'm kind of with sports talk, even though I don't think Tyreek Hill's the best receiver in the league at all. I have him as my receiver before. But all I'm saying is that, especially with Diggs, I don't understand when we talking about wide receivers, how he can't be in the combo. You can't say the production.
Because y'all are having two different.
You can't say his skill set. I don't understand what it is.
Y'all are having two different conversations.
What about Jamar Chase then?
My thing about like the top 6 receivers, right? Like I think 3 of them have way different skill sets than like Tay, Jefferson, and Diggs. Like those guys are the technicians. Like the other guys are like the athletic freaks. I think it's just what you values the most, like the explosive play, the contested catching, or the route running into technician and the separation.
Because I can agree with that.
Because the top 6 receivers, most of them can win most of the routes. Most of them are good route runners regardless. But like at the same time,
like, you're talking about.
I just think personally,
I said, who's the top 6 he's talking about? So we're all on the same page.
I mean, so I think the top 6 to me.
Trent would know my top 6, right?
Yeah, I think I do. But
if I were to go off
my head, Tay. I think overall Tay, Jettis, Diggs.
Not. This is not in order. Tyreek Hill, Justin Jefferson, Stephon Diggs, Devontae Adams, AJ Brown, Jamar Chase.
Yeah.
Like I kind of feel like Cup should be there. I feel like
I agree.
Yeah, Cup is my 7. Cup's 7 for me. Like Cup is still really good.
What does Cup do? I'm gonna ask. This is why I asked. What does AJ Brown do better than Cooper Kupp?
Yak. And that's close. And
so here's the thing, Trent.
I want Cooper. I'm a big Cooper Kupp guy. So
my thing about AJ Brown, I think him in press man coverage, he's like top 3 in the league.
What?
Wait, what did you say?
No, I'm saying like press man coverage, like him one-on-one getting pressed by corner.
Okay.
I think he's top 3 in the league. I
don't agree because
I don't agree with that. I'm not gonna lie.
Jettis is better, Devontae Adams is better, and Tyreek Hill are better than him.
Stephon Diggs is better than him.
AJ Brown at press man.
I don't know if they're all that better than.
Are y'all saying then AJ Brown at press man coverage?
Yes, because I'm not gonna lie. The reason why y'all saying that because of the diamond slant. I understand what you because that shit is unstoppable.
If you can press
at the same time, I feel like you're so dominant at press man coverage because a lot of like teams are like using that way. That's such a valuable like trait to have. Like I know, like people just like talk about route running, hands, and separation, but like the way that like these receivers like beat these type of coverages, I think it's so valuable in today's league.
If you dead talking about skill set, besides deep threat ability, being a better deep threat, there's nothing AJ Brown does better than Cup.
And I was about to say
the reason
like, there's nothing you can argue that will really say that he is better than Cooper Kupp.
Trent, the reason I say that is because if you're going to say that, you might as well say that about everybody else because it's the same argument. Like I to me, it doesn't make sense.
So if like you can have at the same time, but at the same time, you can do that for other receivers. And like you,
I know.
If you felt that way, like if you felt that way, you never thought D-Hop was like the best receiver in the league.
I don't. No, that's not true. That's not true because D-Hop has the GOAT hands, and the most important thing for wide receiver is hands. So that's why.
I agree with what you said earlier. I do think it depends on what you value. I mean, because I see Tyreek Hill like the Stephen Curry of the NFL. Like what he does is so dominant. And it doesn't really matter if he's not elite at everything else, right? I think Steph Curry's elite at other things, but
like different argument y'all are making. Who is the most impactful receiver versus who is the best are two different arguments.
That's what I'm saying.
Tyreek Hill. If I'm making the offense, I'm taking Tyreek Hill number one because I know he can make everything 1,000 times easier for just being speed. If I'm just saying who's the better receiver, you have to entitle skills.
Sometimes, especially like we just said, especially Tyreek Hill is still a special case in those scenarios because at the end of the day, skill set, like you just said, matters. And so whether or not he's impactful, those two things could be one and the same in a lot of different scenarios. Not always, but in this case, it can be. Especially like I said, once again, we're moving on to the territory. We're moving up. We're moving past a lot of guys. You know what I'm saying? Devontae Adams. I'm sorry for what's going on with him right now. He needs to get up out of there if he wants to continue to even try to cement his legacy and push.
Although he put himself in that situation. If we're being for real though, he walked right into this.
He did, but
he wanted to play with Derek Carr.
Hold on. He did not. Yeah, I was just saying he didn't. That's what I'm saying. He didn't go into there expecting him to immediately right after that next year go ahead and get rid of the dude that he.
Yeah,
that wasn't the point. If he knew that was
again, he chose to walk into this.
And exactly that's what I was about to lead to next. Whether or not that happened, at the end of the day, it is what it is now. And we're now moving into the territory, and we just seen D-Hop, right? People still said D-Hop was still a top 5 guy and all this other stuff. He is now in Tennessee, like I said, going to the wide receiver wasteland, and then now his career looks like it's going down the drain once again. And it looks like it's over. It's about to be over.
D-Hop is slowing down.
I give you a minute about D-Hop.
He's slowing down a little bit.
It's progressing. We have to start realizing that in this time, bro, we overall, we can keep on saying overall, but how long are we going to keep dragging overall when literally at the end of the day, overall has to change eventually? It's going to have to change.
Overall is like
no, it's cool. I get you. I'm saying because Devontae Adams for the last 3-4 years has been number one, and I had no issue with that, right? But when are we going to start? When are we going to start realizing that we have to start?
Until a player slows
when
down.
He declines. When he declines,
regress.
Okay,
that's when we start having conversations. He hasn't regressed.
And here's the thing, JJ: the fact that you're trying to switch it, if he has not regressed, and for
I'm not blaming him for that though.
But I'm saying if you have him for 3 to 4 years as number one, now you're trying to change it. The only thing that's changed about Devontae Adams is production.
But that still matters. That matters.
I'm not saying it doesn't.
Last year, he had one of his best seasons.
Production can.
Although I gotta agree with Trey about Devontae Adams, I think his top end speed on deep routes has gone down just a hair. The yak and his deep ball ability has gone down just a hair.
That's
no.
They took him out of the scheme of the offense. That's exactly what happened. That's how come he's been complaining in the media.
All I'm saying is this. I'm not even blaming Devontae Adams. And I'm telling you right now, I'm not saying Devontae Adams got to even leave the number one spot. I'm basically trying to put out there the fact that there's still a lot of guys that we have when we're going these overall topics, you know what I'm saying? We still have them in the top 5 because we know who they are, you know what I'm saying? Oh, well, whether or not their situation irrespective of the situation, we know what they can do. We know what their ability is. At a certain point, bro, especially when it comes to certain receivers, bro, it's time when we got to realize until he can show me that he's still capable of these things again, which I believe he was. If I have belief in my heart that you can do it, then I'll still have my hint of, of knowing that you're going to be able to go do that and back at your spot. Yeah, I'm going to give you that. But at the end of the day, if I'm not witnessing it right now, though, and somebody else is still going out there and showing me what it is, I'm not gonna slay you for that. I gotta give you
has Devontae
sort of like Moss was.
And I'm not talking about Devontae.
Right?
Once again, I'm not talking about Devontae because Devontae's situation is very particular.
My thing about Diop, like him, I think he's regressed. I think we can all agree with that. I don't think he's washed, right? I think he can.
OBJ is washed. Odell Beckham Jr. is washed.
Hey, respect OBJ. Last game, he played well.
He might be washed for
No. D-Hop doesn't even have the same burst that he had anymore, bro. Honestly speaking, D-Hop's main calling card at this point in time is the fact that he can get open on short routes. At the ability is because of the fact that he has great hands, and so I gotta give him his credit for that.
I agree.
But he's most definitely.
I'm just saying. Like I think
he's not the same dude.
Well, he's not the same dude, but like I don't think he's washed. Like I think he's still like he could still be a pretty good receiver. I don't think he'd be like. I don't think he's an elite one anymore. If that makes sense.
Yeah, he isn't. I mean, to be truthful, he's not.
He's never
slowed down.
Really been
to JJ, when you was talking about people, like I know you understand. I'm talking about Devontae Adams, but I'm saying those like he's been so good for this long. If I haven't seen a regression, then I'm not stopping me from not keeping that number one. If Devontae Adams still goes out here and puts up a 1,500, 1,400 a year with 12 TDs like he did last year.
If he did that, that's not a regression though. If he did that, that's not a regression. And that's
I'm saying he's still looking good right now. He's still looking the best.
Yeah. I just don't think he's the clear best anymore.
I don't.
Because like I said, he's been taken out of the offense according to the scheme, and he's been complaining about that in the media.
Bro,
so you're taking completely out of the
once
offense,
again, I really don't want to bring D-Hop into this because I'm not D-Hop. Devontae Adams, because it makes it worse because there's other receivers on that team too that should be getting burned and they aren't. So that's like I said, that team right there is a special case. Yeah, sure. They're wrong. You doing my dog Hunter Run for real wrong when he's literally one of the better shot guys in the league. You know what I'm saying?
I'm not gonna lie. Like I'm not biggest fan of Hunter Renfro, but he was pretty good in 2021.
The Raiders, I'm willing to brush past that because, like I said, once again, this is really not even about Devontae Adams. This is really about what I'm saying. What I'm really talking about is just the overall argument in general. Whether it become with D-Hop, whether it be with a bunch of other players that are in that tier, that should really just be like, bro, it's time to just let it go until they go back and show you again why they should.
My question: did you have Tyreek number one last year?
Last year, if you ask Trent, when I saw the Trent, bro, I was always debating it whether or not week in and week out up until like week 12. Up until like week 12, and I was like, you know what, D-Hop, Adam Chase,
yeah, call me young.
And I was arguing Jettis too. So don't think it was only Tyreek.
Call me young. I'm not gonna lie. I had Tyreek number one by like week 3.
Okay, but so did you have him that way when he was? What has Tyreek Hill?
Well, the thing is, hold on.
As far as the skill set of Tyreek Hill, what have you seen a difference between his last year in Kansas City and his first year in Miami?
2020, even 2020.
I'm just saying, like, what as far as his skill set has gotten better to where you're like,
it's not about skill set for me as much as it is about just being able to use it.
Can I say something real quick about Tyreek Hill? Even before the season, I said he had an argument just because of his breakaway speed. I had him at 3, so it's not like
for me.
Sorry, go ahead.
For me, when it was in Kansas City, bro, when he was in Kansas City, right, he was still a dynamic receiver. Don't get him messed up. We all know he was still dynamic. The thing is, what the Miami Dolphins have been able to do, and what the Chiefs, I feel like if he was still on there, he probably would have been able to find a way to get it done. But I feel like just having Travis Kelce there, he would have still been a 1,500-yard guy, all that other stuff.
He wanted the ball more than Travis Kelce.
The thing about Tyreek, he knew his ability, how good of based off receiver, who he is. He knew how good of the abilities that he has, his powers that he got in his body, that he's able to go on to another team and turn himself and make him like why he believes he's the clear-cut one guy. He says it himself, you know what I'm saying? I'm not going to – every receiver's going to say that. But when you're able to go out there and go week in and week out, like Devontae Adams did, like Antonio Brown and Julio Jones tried doing during their time, you know what I'm saying? During that entire time, when you're able to go out week in and week out and prove the reason why you want to keep saying you're number one guy and then go and use your ability, that what he's doing right now is unprecedented up until this moment, you know what I'm saying, as a receiver and what he's at his size and the capabilities he has.
I think the best argument right now that Tyreek Hill has for being for what changed between 2020, 2021 and his years with the Dolphins is his quarterback clearly is worse, especially if the deep
and
ball.
he's still
That's the best argument. I think that's the best argument you got.
People said a lot of his production came off of just going on deep routes. You know, what I'm saying all this other stuff, right? He has now created. You said what?
That's narrative ball though.
I mean, that's narrative driven. That's narrative driven, of course. But a lot of stuff are narrative driven when it comes to a lot of receivers.
Yeah, but
I'm not even talking about narratives on Tyreek.
JJ, a lot of shit is dumb though. Everybody named Mama knew when you have a player like Tyreek Hill, you can put him with any quarterback and he's going to eat. Like, come on, like
Tyreek can go eat, but if he's eating like this, there's conversation. Like that's what I'm saying.
I also think that I also think on the Chiefs, like he would never reach his full potential.
They use him in the best. The Miami Dolphins are using him at his in the best position right now.
They're like switching him on other sides, using like every route on him.
They're using him to his best way.
I was about to say,
yeah.
But I feel like the Chiefs probably
hold up, Trey.
Similar things, especially after that loss against the Bengals.
So Trey, say your last thing before so we can move on.
I'm about to say this is my last.
This next is gonna be nasty. So come on.
Oh shit!
All right, this is what I say about the whole thing. The one thing I have said about Tyreek Hill is, regardless of who you have as the best wide receiver, the most dangerous weapon in football since he's been in the league has always been Tyreek Hill. But
literally since he's been in the league.
The thing that I'll say that's gotten better, because the change was his last year in Kansas City and his transition into Miami. One of the things that people did not realize is that in that last year, they stopped throwing, like the Chiefs stopped throwing the ball deep as much as they used to. They used Tyreek Hill a lot in the same ways that they used Tyreek Hill when he first got to Miami. Exactly. And there was a lot of option routes. It's a lot of stuff that's underneath just getting the ball in his hands quickly.
Make him a yak demon.
Well, that's essentially what they did. They're like, cool. Yeah. They're like, we got the deep part. You're starting to become better as a route runner. So now we're going to kind of unlock the last part of you, which is now we're going to let you run option routes, read coverages, be on the same page with your quarterback, and then kind of just mix all of that in, and hopefully we can get something out of you. But unfortunately for the Chiefs, they're like, yeah, we ain't trying to pay you what they trying to pay you. So he went to Miami, and now they're doing it, and they're reaping the benefits of it. So the one thing I will say is the thing that's kind of changed is he has matured as a receiver in terms of being patient at the line, kind of setting guys up, being able to be that guy that can kind of be, okay, now you're a deep threat one play, you play in the backfield the next, now we throw you in the slot or we throw you on the outside, and like you can work in these different modes. Like it's not clunky, like it's real clean, despite the fact that the thing we always notice about him is just that he's faster than everybody else. So that's what I'll say about Tyreek Hill.
Yeah, I agree.
All right, so let's move this on, because I know there's one particular panelist, and I've heard, because I know Sports PSP told me that he say Tua better than Herbert and Trevor Lawrence better than Herbert. So last word, we gotta, I want to ask you, I'm gonna ask everybody else, because Justin Herbert had another mid performance versus the Chiefs, wasn't looking too good. So I want to ask you this. So is it time to start having these conversations that he's not a top 5 quarterback?
I mean, I've been having a conversation, bro. I mean, Champ was on the show with me the other night on PSP podcast, and I said it got to come a point, man. He got to show he's a top 5 quarterback. I mean, everyone's been giving him the benefit of the doubt because of the talent he is, and rightfully so. He amazing arm, athletic, big, strong quarterback. But at the end of the day, when you have constant opportunities to prove that you belong in that conversation and you fall short every time, it has to come a point where it's enough is enough, man. Like this is like, I want everyone to keep this in mind. Before Joe Burrow inked his contract, this is the guy that was currently the highest paid quarterback in NFL history. Like he inked a 45, almost $50 million deal annually. This guy, he's paid. I'm not saying he's the problem with the Chargers, but he's paid to be the answer. He's paid to be the fixer. You're the guy who's supposed to go out there. We want the ball in your hands last because we feel as if you give us the best opportunity to win. He hasn't given them that. In fact, since he's been in the league, I read this stat yesterday. He has 13 interceptions in the fourth quarter on drives where he has the ball last in his hands. That is not going. That's not good enough. It's not going to get the job done.
Okay. Wait, before y'all go, I want to ask you this: What are your top 5 quarterbacks right now?
That's what I was going to ask.
What are your top 5 quarterbacks
right now?
Or just overall, wherever how you feel about it.
Be careful.
All right, so look, if we talking in general, I got Mahomes 1, I got Burrow 2, I got Lamar 3, I got Rodgers 4, I got Allen 5.
Cool. Rodgers is a cop out.
Let's
take Rodgers out of it.
Okay,
let's take.
I'm going to ask you this.
You said it in general.
Oh yeah, for sure. That's what I said. For sure, I'm gonna say that. So let me ask you this: what has Lamar shown you?
What has Lamar shown me? What you mean, like overall?
Recency bias.
I mean this year.
In general, if you have Lamar in your top 5 and you said Herbert has to show you something to be in your top 5, what has Lamar shown you that?
I want to rant about that.
He has shown me the ability to elevate his team around him. He's played with guys who wouldn't be starters on other teams. He's played behind a consistently hurt offensive line, 2 running backs out every year to the point they pick up guys off the strap heap every season. And he has the 3rd highest winning percentage of any quarterback in the league right now in his first 4 years. The only guys that was above him was Mahomes and Brady. I mean, listen, I'm not going to sit and say Lamar doesn't have more to prove, but what I am going to say is when they've given Lamar limits, he's made lemonade. Like he's done what he could with this team.
Yeah, are we just gonna disregard and forget what happened last year with Herbert? Are we just gonna forget he was missing both his best options? He only played with his offensive line was destroyed last year.
All I'm saying is that because all I'm saying is that I get that we saying that Herbert has to show people, but I'm just like to a person where I don't award mid performances and almost getting carried, i.e. Joe Burrow, because I always feel like Herbert and Burrow are always going to be in the same tier unless one of them regresses or one of them goes stupid and like over excel and want to do something crazy. So I'm kind of in the sense that like besides Patrick Mahomes, ain't no QB really showing you shit for real besides Stafford that they can win you a Super Bowl.
I want to bounce off that real quick. And that's why it's like for me when it comes to Herbert, and if you know me, I've out at the beginning of the year, I had a heated debate with Trent and G Baby with the Justin Herbert, the choke artist.
You say he was a choke artist.
I've had that claim, so you already know my opinions about Justin Herbert, and I've been proven right constantly. But I will say this when it comes to Justin Herbert, though, similar to what Trent just said, other than Mahomes, and I give grace to Burrow because playoff winning moves me. Josh Allen. That one game against the Chiefs moved me enough, I guess. Other than that, everybody else none of them proved anything other than Stafford, like he said. So that's why it's like I see what you're saying about Justin Herbert, but like Hurts hasn't proved anything. Lamar is proving more things. He's proving more things.
Lamar, they're throwing the ball. You realize that, right?
You said Lamar.
No, we're not. Okay, so we're gonna relax. When it comes to Herbert, my thing is until someone takes that 4th, 5th spot, like it's up for grabs for all these quarterbacks in this tier right now. That's the biggest thing for me.
All right.
I mean, it's okay. So you agree? It's just a matter of what you want, then, right?
I just feel like that. Besides Mahomes in his own tier, I think when Rodgers comes back, Rodgers, Burrow, Herbert, Allen,
Lamar,
they're all in the same tier.
Yeah,
they are.
This is the thing. This is the thing that I'll say, and this is the issue that I have with Herbert, because one of the things that constantly comes up, specifically because I live in Florida and I work around a bunch of Dolphins fans, they always talk about too old over Herbert, blah blah blah, and my first reaction is to be like, shut your stupid ass up. What? No, I'm still taking Herbert. And the reason why my initial reaction is because I value guys who are able to make plays outside of the structure of the offense, because we see it more often now at the quarterback position. In order for you to play at an elite level, you can't just play from the pocket anymore and pick people apart, because unfortunately, like, it's just not possible anymore. Like, the margin for error becomes so thin with you solely playing from the pocket. You have to be able to be creative. So with that, I'm always going to lean towards the athletic guy. But the issue that I have with Justin Herbert is that you're 6'6", 240, can throw the ball a country mile, wildly accurate, athletic guy. But when I watch you play like a robot. So that means sometimes you're absolutely surgical, like sinister cold with it sometimes. But then there are other times where it's like, okay, baby, I need you to be human. I need you to be an artist. Like, hey, this play is broken. Like, I need you to make some magic happen. And he just doesn't do it.
Like, yeah, I was just about to say that too, man. For an athletic guy, he is not a good playmaker, man.
Like, I don't know if it's a confidence issue. I don't know if it's just something like mentally. I don't know if it's coaching. But for whatever,
he tried to play too perfect.
Don't y'all feel like that low-key goes back to what happened to him at Oregon?
Well, I think another thing is I don't think he's just trusting his guys enough. You know,
that's not a good.
He's missing Mike Williams. He's really missing Mike Williams.
That is a mentality. Y'all have to understand.
He's missing his mentality
too. But that is a mentality.
Yeah, he's really missing Mike Williams.
The same things that we want from Herbert.
Mike Williams, man.
The same things we want from Herbert, we get it in abundance with Josh Allen. He almost trusts his guys too much. And trusts his abilities too much.
But wait, Young, let's stick right there, right? Because we're talking about all these guys that are in that same tier, right? So obviously the guy who's at the top is Mahomes. Yep. Mahomes is probably the best, like, it ain't no probably. He is the best in the league of kind of straddling the fence in terms of like, okay, I'm going to pick and choose when it's time for me to be surgical and take what the defense gives me, and when it's time for me to be like, you know what, time to be an artist, right?
Yep.
Guys like Josh Allen, guys like Lamar, to a certain degree, have spent a majority of their career doing it a little too much, which is why you see Josh Allen throwing the ball like into triple coverage. Sometimes you're like, yo, what the hell are you doing? And then you'll see Lamar with the fumbles because he's out here trying to run around, make three guys miss, and he might not get hit, but the motherfucker done forgot the ball. And then you have guys like Justin Herbert, who it's like, oh, okay, cool. You're down by 3. It's 3rd and 7. Your right tackle just got beat. I need you to scramble out and flip your hips and hit Keenan Allen. And for whatever reason, it just
that's the problem.
Yeah, at the very least, when it comes down to it, because I value like winning the game. Like at the end of the game, what are you going to do to win the game? That's kind of how I differentiate certain people. Josh Allen has I've said this about Josh Allen. Sometimes he could be a big Stephon Diggs merchant. I got a big one. It's like, hey, Stephon Diggs, double covered. I don't care. I'm going to throw it to you. Make a play. Sometimes he does that way too much. He doesn't check down enough. Like those things are irritating. When the game is on the line, I'm not going to lie. Allen is locked in. Josh Allen is locked in, ready to play the game, ready to win the game. Even against the Giants, he did it, even though we should have won. And against the Patriots, he did it. It's just Mac Jones scored with Gesicki at the end of the game. Like he couldn't do anything. So that's a big thing.
He was locked in against the Giants. He missed the throw to seal the game.
No, that's not true. Dawson Knox dropped it. That's not true.
That ball was low as hell for a guy 6'6". That ball was low as hell for a guy at 6'6".
That was not a good throw, boy.
And Undisputed, how do you feel about Justin Herbert? He frozen?
Are you talking to me?
No, the fan is moving. There's no way he's frozen.
Yo, Undisputed. Yo, how you
no, it was echoing real bad. I apologize.
Yeah, you sure?
I don't think all of that is his. I don't think that all of that is his fault, to be honest with you. I think a lot of this is coaching because Brandon Staley don't know his head from a hole in the wall. He's missing Mike Williams, and it's just once they get rid of Brandon Staley, I think we'll see a lot better Justin Herbert than we're normally accustomed to seeing.
Okay,
because hold on, wait, hold on. Let me
why do you do this? Why are you doing this? Why are you putting your head back and rolling your eyes?
I mean, I see
because does coaching not matter?
It does. It does.
Who's
calling the plays? Who's calling the offensive plays?
Bro, Brandon Staley's a moron. I've been saying this for like a year and a half. Dude is the Ron Rivera of the AFC. This dude is an idiot.
I think this is another issue of Herbert that nobody kind of talks about. We've seen Herbert keep playing with these trash-ass coaches and still looking great. So now we're expecting him to keep performing the way he do. But sometimes, bro, that coaching is going to outweigh the player, bro. You're going to need some good coaching, bro.
The Chargers have not had a coach since Marty Schottenheimer, brother.
And
they haven't had a good coach since Marty
Schottenheimer. When he was the coach, I was like 2 years old.
See, I'm not mad at what you're saying.
They haven't had a coach since Marty Schottenheimer.
Look,
the defense being this bad, Brandon Staley should be fired. Josh McDaniels, Brandon Staley should be fired.
Okay.
However,
been saying Josh McDaniels should have got up out of there, bro.
He should never get a job again.
Okay, look.
But Kellen Moore is the one calling the offensive play. So the Brandon Staley stuff in terms of
I've been saying Kellen Moore was not this crazy OC. The only people that was gassing Kellen Moore was Mookie Jones. The only person in this world that was gassing. Bro.
The only reason he got a job is because he was with the Cowboys.
We try to say,
he deserves it.
He's a solid. Kellen Moore is a good offensive coordinator, but the flow in which he calls plays is terrible. That is the problem with him.
I was just about to say, because we're talking.
He plays like he's playing Madden, which is crazy.
That's exactly what I said.
Like. It's horrible.
That's exactly what I said, because
he's just like Jason Garrett was when he was an offensive coordinator with the Dallas Cowboys.
I don't know about that part. I don't know about that part. Jason Garrett fucking sucks.
I won't go.
He is a way better offensive player.
I was about to say I won't go that far, but this is what I've been saying about Kellen Moore, which is why during the offseason when Mookie was saying, "Oh, well, Brandon Staley's gonna be coach of the year, and Kellen Moore is gonna fix all the problems of that offense," and I was like, "Are we sure?" Because if we're talking about play design, absolutely. Like objectively speaking, as somebody who works in football and is a football nerd, like watching the play design for the Cowboys while he was the offensive coordinator, I would be mad as hell as a Giants fan watching them beat us, and I'd be like, that play was fire though. And I was like, I'm literally watching these concepts. I'm like, this is great. But the one thing that always kept us in games is that there's no flow to his offense. He doesn't marry anything. He, like you said, Young, he just calls it like it's Madden. He just picks a play on the sheet and goes, run it. Instead of being like, okay, cool. I got this play that's a bread and butter. We run this all the time. It's a tendency that I know they're going to be studying for.
Build off of it.
Hey, Trey, you know what? You know why he's always had the mentality?
And who does that sound like? That sounds like Jason Garrett back when Wade Phillips was the coach in Dallas. That sounds just like him, does it not?
It's like Kellen Moore's plays are like always like meant to like run up the scoreboard. Like they're always, and that's why they get too predictable.
But that goes all the way to when he was at Boise. That goes all the way to when he was playing at Boise
State for real.
Like that's literally all they did at Boise State was run up the score. It didn't matter from the beginning to the end. They're running up the score. Yeah, that's what they were doing.
Look, I hear all of that, but the one thing I will say, and I said this on Gridiron, and I've said this off air too. When folks brought up the offensive coordinator situation for other quarterbacks, i.e. Lamar Jackson, people said, suck it up. You just got to play better.
That's all they ever say for Lamar.
At what point in time do we start giving other quarterbacks that same treatment? Because the one thing I will say, like objectively speaking, all right, I can't say objectively speaking and then say this because I'm probably a little biased, but I do find it very funny that the Chargers did all that woofing about Anthony Lynn. You fired that man, and this is what you fired him for? I'm pretty sure Anthony Lynn could have gotten you the same. But
I think the difference with Lamar because they win like so many more games. That's why they like give him more slack.
But that's on the
Well, I think the issue. I
don't think. Yeah, I say that's the kind of because I don't think.
I think yes.
Like if you're winning a lot of games and like you like, if you're winning a lot of games,
the lows don't. Yeah, listen. When you're winning a lot of games, bro, the flaws and stuff people just ignore.
You ignore them. You will ignore the flaws
to an extent. I definitely agree, but at the same time, like I'm gonna be honest, I'm gonna keep the same energy for Herbert and Lamar Jackson. If Lamar Jackson, does what he does, has a great season, we've seen great seasons before, and then goes in the playoffs and it ain't it, then it's like what are we talking about? And the same thing with Justin Herbert. Brandon Staley needs to be fired, but it sounds like we're laying up. Okay, Kellen Moore might be a problem too. So even though Stanley's going to get fired,
exactly,
that's what it sounds like to me. For me, when it comes down to it, I agree that coaching can definitely be a factor, and like when you're not playing well. But there are certain instances that I think it can't be the main reason especially when you're supposed to be an elite quarterback.
But here's the thing, though: when you play a 17-game season, I hate it how people go, man, they go one game in the playoffs, and that just negates the whole year. People watched the whole year of Justin Herbert last year because he lost to Trevor Lawrence, who Trevor Lawrence didn't play the first 9-10 games good at all, and yet because Trevor Lawrence won the playoff game, he's automatically just better than Justin Herbert somehow. And Justin Herbert's whole season is just eviscerated from the face of the earth.
I always thought that was crazy.
I mean,
Trevor Lawrence had the better coach.
Let me rebuttal that.
Trevor Lawrence had the better coach.
Hey, let him rebuttal that. Let him rebuttal that.
Because this the thing that I think everyone has to realize. Moments and games matter. Like what you do when the lights are the brightest, those things matter. And we gotta keep in mind, Trevor Lawrence started that game off as bad as any quarterback could have started the game. And yet at the end of the game, he was the victor and he outplayed Justin Herbert. He did. That's what it is. Now that's not to say he's definitively better, because I think you can make an argument for either guy at this point. But to go into that game, and
Trevor Lawrence has no argument for top 5.
You said what?
Trevor Lawrence has no argument for a top 5 quarterback in the league.
I don't
Exactly. Yeah. No. Hold on.
No.
You really don't believe.
I'm saying you really don't believe
Justin Herbert. Time out. I'm about to blow.
Trevor has zero.
You really about to say that Justin Herbert has no argument of being a top 5 quarterback?
I'm not saying it's not an argument. What I'm saying is he's not top 5 for me personally. I'm not saying there's an argument.
Trevor Lawrence has zero argument to be top 5.
But he's like right out. Like he can enter the conversation.
But look, I think y'all are misinterpreting what I'm saying. I'm saying neither guy is top 5 for me. I'm saying them two alone are interchangeable themselves. I'm not saying other guys are arguing.
Okay,
I got behind that here personally.
I mean, that's how you don't have to get behind it. But I'm saying listen. For me, when you're talking quarterbacks, to me, what you do in the biggest moments matter the most, more than anything, than any other moment you have in your career or in a certain game. And for me, I've seen Justin Herbert for the last 3 years fold under the pressure too many times to sit here and say he's definitively top 5. Like they've written him in there.
He only had one good year, and that was last year.
But time out.
He only had one good year.
You know why I don't like that though? Because outside of the great playoff run Josh Allen had, he ain't really do nothing for real. Outside of the Super Bowl run, Joe Burrow, even though he played mid majority of the time, and in the one perfect game versus the Bills, he ain't do nothing for real.
Like Lamar hasn't even had that.
Okay.
Right.
Okay. Listen.
I was gonna say all of them.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I don't really know
a lot of these people. If we're being honest,
you know how bad Lamar's been in the playoffs. Tim Tebow's a better playoff performer.
Listen.
Let me say this. That is sad.
Let me say this. First and foremost, like I said, context matter. If you go talk about Lamar performances, talk about how his receivers literally dropped the most passes in a playoff game. Let's talk about that as well. Let's also talk about how Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson, who else y'all name? Y'all named Joe Burrow. Let's talk about how these guys have actually won playoff games. Justin Herbert, we literally just witnessed this dude blow one of the biggest leads we ever seen in playoff history. Those things matter to me. I'm sorry. Like, I know we ain't gonna give him all the blame.
But again, that goes back to coaching. The coach had a lot of stupid decisions in that game.
Listen, champ, let me say this.
Last one. All right.
Champ, I understand that completely. I'm not saying he's the biggest reason why they lost that game. But at the end of the day, he was the guy that was given the $50-60 million contract to be the solution to the problems they're having. And he's not. If you're gonna pay a guy that much money, he has to win some of these games, and he's winning none of them. That is my problem.
If you take Justin Herbert on that team, how many games did they win?
I hate these hypotheticals.
They're winning like one.
I'm just saying.
You just say that for like every elite quarterback.
The reason I say that is because he might not get you over the hump, but we're not giving him enough credit. He's holding the Chargers franchise by a thread. Like, the Chargers are literally nothing. Like Kirk Cousins.
He's holding that franchise by a thread right now.
Justin Herbert, outside of Justin Herbert, what is that offense?
Keenan Allen.
I think Keenan Allen, Austin Eckler, good players, bro.
Austin Eckler, Gerald Everett.
Austin Eckler's a bum.
Healthy for the last 3 years.
Austin Eckler's a bum. What?
Eckler is a bum.
Wait, hold on.
I think a bum is crazy.
Yo, hold on.
Bum's kind of crazy.
He might have to get the floor with this. Hold on. You said Austin Eckler is what, Karen?
Yo, don't tell me this man agrees too.
Well, how?
Eckler is a bum.
He is the worst.
bro.
He is the worst pure rusher.
Nah,
Say, hold on. I need this for the clip. I need it for the clip. Say one more time.
Yeah. Clip this. Austin Eckler is the worst starting pure rusher in the league.
Excuse me?
The man just averaged 5 yards of carry last season, bro. He let
Yeah. That's fine. 5 yards to carry.
Bro.
Mostly gets light boxes. If you put a stack box on him, he's literally the worst running back in the world. He's fucking trash. Stop saying he's a.
Najee Harris is. Wait, hold up. Najee Harris is averaging like 3.5 yards to carry last season.
Karen,
hold
Karen.
up.
Hey, Karen, I didn't want to do it to you. You're a Steelers fan. I didn't want to do it to you. But you do understand the running back on your own team in his rookie season averaged 3.8 yards per carry. He didn't even get. He averaged under 4 yards per carry. He cannot run the football. You're saying Austin Eckler's a worse rusher than him.
Okay, that's fine. But I never called Najee Harris good.
You're telling me Austin Eckler's a worse rusher than him? You said pure rusher. You're telling me right now Austin Eckler's a worse rusher than Najee Harris.
He probably is. If you no, I'm just saying. Okay, I'm just saying. If you put Austin Eckler and he gets as many stat boxes as Najee Harris, he's averaging like 2.5 yards a game.
What stack boxes is okay? Actually, let me not do that.
Don't do that. That's nasty.
He does get boxes.
Austin Eckler or Alexander Madison?
I know because I'm about to do this though. I'm about to do this though.
Austin Eckler or Alexander Madison? Who's the horse rusher?
Wow, Austin Eckler. I don't think Austin Eckler is a good pure rusher.
No, you did not.
I do not think Austin Eckler is one of the worst running backs in the NFL.
No way, bro. There's no way, bro. There's no way.
He's one of the best. Okay. He's one of the best running backs in the NFL. He is not a good pure rusher at all. I do not care.
I can understand that. You just say he's the worst. You say he's the worst. I can understand
he's not. Yeah, he's one of the worst. He's not like the worst.
He's still better than the majority. He's still the bottom half of the league. Like what are we saying?
Hold on. So Karen, where do you have Austin Eckler ranked right now?
I don't know.
Is he top?
There's
20?
32 running backs. Where you got him?
Is he top 20?
He might be top 20. He might be.
So he has no case for top 15.
No,
as a rusher, right?
Make
sure we.
In general, he's saying in general he has no case of being
not a top 15 back.
No,
bro, what?
Miles Sanders.
Bro, blow your whistle. You're still on the play, bro. Blow the whistle.
What hold on. Wait. You have to name your 15 now.
He's not doing the flag. Do the flag, Griff.
You have to name your 15, bro.
Karen, give me the 15 running backs. Give me the 15 running backs better than Austin Eckler. Nobody interrupt them.
Am I lagging?
Nah, you good. You straight.
Okay, so Nick Chubb is better. Christian McCaffrey, Josh Jacobs, Breece Hall. It's hard to think off the top of my head. Bijan, Derrick Henry, Alvin Kamara. Fuck. Who? I can't think of names. Fuck. I'm blank. Who did I not say?
I don't know.
Travis Etienne.
Karen, come on, Karen. Just get a list. Just somebody. Just go on NFL. Just name like the top 32 running backs.
Okay, I'm gonna be honest. I did not think we were gonna talk.
Yeah, I didn't want to talk about it either. But
yeah, that's my bad. That's my bad. Hold on.
Just
Tyler Aguilar. I mean,
I'm about to say just pull it up.
During that, can I get something off my chest real quick though?
Go ahead.
So while he gets that list done, we all love sports, right? And I think one of the most important things is the integrity of the game. And what I saw yesterday in that Falcons game sickened me about Bijan. That, if I have never seen a Vegas call up to a team in my life, that is most definitely the first one. If you want to talk about the people out there that try to whisper about how NFL games are rigged and how shit is being messed with internally, yesterday or 2 days ago now might be the best case I've ever seen in my life. with Bijan running with 30 seconds left in the game when he hasn't played all game. And the reason they did it is because if he doesn't play that one snap, that his all his bets don't get pushed. That means it gives people a lot more opportunities to win money. I don't care what anyone on this panel says, what anyone in the world says. That was a call up from Vegas. Someone got a phone call about that shit.
I 1000% agree with that, man. That was some shit right there.
I'm not gonna lie. I really thought you were about to say that they were being weird for not playing him, but I get what you're saying now. I can't even argue that. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah,
I don't even know what that
was.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Other than the fact, because I was gonna say he was sick. He showed up to the facility saying he was sick. No, I'm saying you could report that, but I feel like it was like for him he until he got the pass. Like Bijan was talking to Coach Smith about it, so clearly it was a back and forth exchange.
He said that he thought he could play, and then once he got on the field, he was like, I can't.
Yeah, we actually about to talk about the Falcons next time, next topic. So, but I need Kieran to hit his list though. Kieran, you got it?
I'm almost done. Sorry,
but yeah, I'm not gonna lie.
I'm about to get real nasty. I'm not gonna lie.
Hey,
while you do that,
we about to say champ.
Hey, the Falcons my team, but we fraud, bro.
Fraud.
I'm glad we're on the same page. I'm glad we're on the same page. Ritter's ass.
You said we're frauds?
100%.
Yeah.
Your own brother believes in that shit. Your own fandom believes in it.
Before we get to yo, Kieran, we need this list, bro. We need it.
Yeah, you need to hurry up, bro.
We need it because I want
Falcons are fraud, bro.
All right,
you got it. All right, so I'm gonna ask you for a clip. So Nate, give me the 15 running backs over Austin Eckler right now.
All right.
All right, let's hear it.
Nick Chubb, Christian McCaffrey, Jonathan Taylor, Breece Hall, Alvin Kamara, Derrick Henry, Bijan Robinson, Aaron Jones, Tony Pollard, Ramondre Stevenson, Saquon Barkley, DeAndre Swift, Kenneth Walker, Damian Pierce, and Josh Jacobs.
Damn. You didn't even say Isaiah Pacheco. Interesting.
Wait, hold on. Ramondre Stevenson. I'm gonna be honest with you. There's like literally 2-3 names I disagree with.
He's not that good.
I knew you agree, Trent. I don't care because I can see it. I look, he felt it, but now he just lied on national YouTube. There's no way you're gonna tell me Ramondre Stevenson is a better running back than Austin Eckler.
That's facts though. That's where he got nasty.
I don't.
Do you have Travis Etienne on that list?
I was telling y'all niggas last year that Damian Pierce was not better than Tyler Algier. And look at it right now.
Travis Etienne.
Damian Pierce is not even top 20 right now.
He didn't name
I didn't even say Etienne. I did not even say Etienne.
Yeah, I'm not gonna hold you. If you really name like the top 10, bro, he really might be at 15.
15 is not crazy, but he said not top 20 at
but first. He said he may be not 20. Not top 15. That's the difference.
Bro, Austin Eckler's ability on the field being not
top 20. I was kind of hating a little bit, but I don't think he's top 15.
All right, before
I'm not mad at it.
Before we move on, I'm gonna just say this about Austin Eckler because I'm not gonna go as far as Kieran saying that he's a bum, but this is the one thing. Like for all the people who make excuses for Justin Herbert because quiet is kept, that's low-key what you're doing when we bring up other players on the Chargers. It's usually because they're making excuses for Justin Herbert. But the thing that I will say about Austin Eckler is Austin Eckler, like, I don't give a damn about fantasy. Everybody who knows me in real life knows I hate fantasy football. I don't like playing it. Like, I don't like being involved in it. And one of the main reasons why is because it skews the way we view football players. Like, Austin Eckler is a fantasy darling because he gets a shit ton of volume. But the reality is when you turn on the tape and you watch Chargers games, he is not special. Point blank, period. End of discussion. Like, I'm sorry. Like, I get it. He gets a lot of targets and he gets a lot of volume. But if you're talking about some of the best receiving backs in the league, like guys that are versatile, you can move out to the slot that are real matchup problems for linebackers, I am sorry, he is not one of them. He runs swing routes and he gets a shit ton of volume because he plays with a quarterback who, again, plays like a robot. He does exactly what you ask him to do. He will go through his progressions, and if that check down is there, he is damn sure taking it. And I'm not blaming him for that. I'm not blaming Austin Eckler for getting his numbers. All I'm saying is just because you are getting these numbers and you are getting this volume does not mean somebody can turn around and look at me and say, oh yeah, that dude's definitely a top 10 back. I don't think so. And if we sat there together and watched the tape, after we were done watching it, you would probably agree with me.
All right.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna lie. Austin Eckler, pure rusher, is like on the same level as peak Duke Johnson. Not gonna lie.
Wow. All right, he be.
All right, we gonna move on.
Yeah,
we gonna move on. But so
my bad, guys. Phone went dead.
No, you're straight. So let's talk about these dirty birds. Falcons beat the Bucks, game-winning field goal.
What's up, boy?
And they the current leaders. They are the current leaders of the NFC South. So I'm gonna start with you, JJ. And then I'll go to Champ because it's the next level.
Hey man,
is it time to put respect on them boys in ATL?
Hey man, I've been saying this since the off season, man. You know what I'm saying? Trey, you know me and you been chatting it up. Trey, we even sat in that Discord. Yeah, I haven't been getting arguments sitting there and dudes trying to tell them what's going on. You know what I'm saying? Right? You feel me? No cap, no troll. You feel me? So going into this season, man, you know what I'm saying? Realistically, we did a lot of the same stuff that we did when we had Mariota when it came to running the football, man. You know what I'm saying? Just, in the first game, you feel me? But this past week really showed me why I still have faith. Because I know you remember about like a couple episodes ago, I was on here saying Desmond Ridder and Arthur Smith only got about 2 more games with me. I go ahead and chop them up. They gone. You know what I'm saying? They done. You feel me? Desmond Ridder, hey, bro, big ups to you, bro. I'm not gonna lie. Because after I said what I said, you went out and you balled out against Houston, man. And you put that boy CJ Stroud, you told him, yeah, I'm gonna win this game. I don't care what you got going on. You could be the rookie of the year all you want. You're not gonna win over my dog Bijan, but you could try to win all you want. I'm gonna win this game. He went out there, he did what he had to do. Next game, you know what I'm saying? It didn't look too good for him, but a lot of the stuff that he was doing was not what he did in Jacksonville. What he did in Jacksonville was not rookie mistakes, because I still view him as a rookie. He's still a rookie QB in my eyes because of how many games he's played, right? Against Jacksonville, that's not rookie mistakes. That is just unfixable mistakes, what he was doing. Staring down receivers, all that stuff. What he did against Washington, that's a whole different story. You know what I'm saying? You can fix that. A lot of the stuff, just instead of throwing it out, he tried to loft it up in the air. I don't know what he was doing. That's a fixable thing. Just throw it out, bro. You know what I'm saying? You can fix that easily. What Desmond Ridder did against Tampa goes to show me that I still can believe in him and think that he could be solid for the end of the season. And if we don't end up going to get that quarterback, I can still trust him going into next season. Honestly speaking, no troll. Because if he's able to do what I think he's able to do as a quarterback and be able to sit there and get the ball to the playmakers like they've been asking him to, which he's been doing, getting in the hands of Drake London. I know y'all saw that what Drake London did, boy, when he was up in the air, almost broke his neck, but he still got that ball right there.
Drake London is a dog, bro.
Getting the ball to Kyle Pitt. Getting the ball to the Allen Iverson of the NFL, you know what I'm saying, and Bijan Robinson, you know what I'm saying? Having all them playmakers on the team. Bro, getting the ball to Mac Hollins too when we just got Van Jefferson. I'm not gonna lie.
All right, you get too little excited, bro.
I am getting excited because guess what?
There's the playmaker you're not getting the ball to.
This NFC South.
Kyle Pitts is doing
Trent, y'all better not. Hey, if y'all still say Kyle Pitts don't get the ball, y'all don't watch football.
Is Drake London better than Mike Evans?
Look at it.
The last few weeks, Kyle Pitts has been getting the ball.
No. The last few weeks, no. That's fact.
Kyle Pitts don't get the ball. He leads the team in targets now.
The last few weeks, his production,
he leads the team in targets. He led the team in targets since the Jacksonville game. I hope you know that. You remember that? I know y'all remember every time I was getting tagged talking about why does Jonathan Smith lead the team in targets? Right after that Jacksonville game, you know who led the team in targets? Kyle Pitts. You know who ended up getting more receptions? And on top of that, him and Drake London and Kyle Pitts. So if you don't watch the Falcons, just say that. I understand. It's okay. I understand. Just tell me that.
No, he's right. He's right.
They're frauds, though. Let's be real. They're frauds.
Let Champ. Let's say I want to hear Champ.
Go ahead, because I want to know one thing only. You're a Falcons fan, my brother, and you talking about we frauds. What's going on, bro?
Hey,
go ahead.
I always tell people this. I am a sports fan first, and then my favorite team second.
Yeah.
Sports fan first, favorite team second. Number one, we're frauds because guess what? We are winning despite Desmond Ridder. Did you see the 2 fumbles that he did? The fumble that he made in the end zone when he couldn't hold on to the ball?
Oh, okay, that's another rookie mistake. He had the ball right here instead of having it right here. He did the first play of the game. He had it right here, bro. That's just a rookie mistake. Put the ball back where you're supposed to get it. You understand football, and he let up rookie mistakes.
Okay, you cannot make that mistake when you know it's a tight ball game and you know this is for the leadership of the division. I don't care what you are. Rookie or otherwise, you cannot make that mistake. Now, the only thing I can say about that team, two things I can say that's legit about my Atlanta Falcons. Bijan Robinson in that running game and the defense with Jesse Bates. Jesse Bates is balling out. He's a dark horse MVP. He's a dark horse defensive player of the year. When I say dark horse, I really mean a dark horse. But like I said, we are winning. And that is why Arthur Smith makes some of the play calling that he does, because he does not trust Desmond Riddler. I'm telling you this.
I agree.
I've been a Falcons fan for many years. I've seen a lot of them come and go. I've been a Falcons fan since Billy Joe Tolliver was there.
Oh God!
But like I said, we are fraud in a bad division. We are fraud in a bad division with no consistent quarterback play, and we are winning as the Atlanta Falcons. We are the leaders of the division, despite Desmond Riddler.
Okay,
not
so here's
because
my
of
thing.
him.
Here's my thing, and I like that you brought up the defense, right? Because I wanted to bring that up later, right after we got just talking about what we were talking about. You feel me? But the defense is another reason why we're winning so many, a lot of these close ball games, right? They have been able week in and week out getting the stops consistently, whether or not they even against the Jaguars, they were getting the stops consistently. A lot of those stops was because of the offensive who we had at the helm, and I understand that, and I can acknowledge that, right? But I had a conversation earlier with some other people, right? And the main thing that they go to is the fact that they think because of the turnovers and all this stuff, you don't evaluate the quarterback. They don't want to evaluate him as a quarterback instead of just looking at the turnovers. When there's guys like Jalen Hurts who still have more turnovers than Desmond Ritter, but we don't want to talk about that, right? So if you go look at a guy who's a rookie QB, in my eyes, and you want to go evaluate his game and still see that he's still making a lot of high velocity throws. He's throwing with precision when he's actually making the right plays, going through his progressions. He looks solid. That's my eye. That's how I view it.
He's holding on to the ball too long, number one.
He's holding on to the ball. When you only have 2 seconds in the pass protection, I don't know how long else you can hold on to the ball. If I don't even got 2 seconds to even get the ball out, what are we really saying right now? Our O-line is built for the run game, and we understood that. Our O-line is now getting better in pass protection like we did by selling the run like how we used to last season. What I'm witnessing with Desmond Ritter, when they've now running play action, they're opening up the playbook week by week, more and more. If you're actually watching these games, and I believe you are, you're seeing that our playbook has been expanding, getting the ball to playmakers, changing the way how this team has been going, right? What Desmond Ritter is doing,
when we cannot generate any offense, what do we go back to?
Turnovers are not an excuse.
But when we do not generate any offense, what do we come back to?
We go back to the run.
When we do not generate any plays, we go back to that basic running game information, that basic running game offense. The same offense that he did in Tennessee. And why do you think that is? Because he does not trust Desmond Riddler.
Okay,
Every time we don't move the ball, there's been some times where we've gotten in turnover situations in the red zone and still came out with no points. Still did not come out with touchdowns.
I got one question for you. So every time we went on these game-winning drives, every time we've actually won a game based off a game-winning drive, what have we done? What did we lean on? No, I'm just asking. What did we lean on?
We lean on some of the quarterback play, but like I said,
don't say some. No, don't say some. Don't say some. What did we lean on when we went into those games?
Most of the time, we are leaning on, like I said, we are leaning more so on that running game because we are leaving a lot of points on the board when we get into the red zone. Tell me, I'm lying.
The ultimate trust you have in your quarterback is to lead a game-winning drive, and what he did consistently, what not Tyler Drew, but what Arthur Smith has done consistently is whenever games gets in a close game, we need a game-winning field goal or a game-winning touchdown. He puts the ball in Desmond Ritter's hands, and they go try to drive down the field. And consistently, Desmond Ritter has led already 2 game-winning drives, 2 game-winning drives this season when it came to winning football games. And you're not
acknowledging that. What was the play selection on those drives? I guarantee you, more than 65% of that play column was running game.
We were not running the football
lucky and got one on the sideline.
We were not running
the football lucky and got one on the sideline.
If you look at the Texas
most of the time he's overthrowing balls and he's throwing behind the receivers. Am I right or wrong?
If you look at the Texas game, consistently going down that drive, he threw the ball to Drake London. He threw the ball to Drake London consistently. Got the ball to Kyle Pitts. Got the ball to Jonnu Smith. going down the side. We ran the ball, nothing. In a 2-minute drill, we were actually rarely running the ball because we were not trying to waste clock. We were trying to get the ball out of bounds and try to stop that. So once again, right now, honestly speaking, in these drills, when we're driving down the field and giving the ball to Desmond Ridder, we are most definitely throwing the ball more than we are running. I can witness that in saying that we have a running game. We have an elite running game in the NFL. Now, Trey, I know you have something to say, so you go ahead, my dog.
I'm about to say, I'm gonna just say this real quick before we get too deep into the weeds with all of this. I said this at the beginning of the season. I was wrong about my prediction about who might be able to win this division, but my reasoning still stands. The reasoning was I thought the Panthers might have a chance because, one, I did not realize that their entire organization is currently a circus. So the combination of me not realizing that and looking at your division and saying, despite the brand name recognition, y'all all collectively are painfully mid. If the Panthers,
I can agree,
just kind of hold on and progress at the end of the season, I thought they might have had a chance. Now we found out, no, they're a clown show. So they're out. No, they're gonna be bottom of the barrel. That's fine. What I said about the rest of your division, though, still stands. All of y'all, despite the pain, despite the brand name recognition, like all these guys that have illustrious careers or have bright futures, the reality is, as whole units, you're still middle of the pack. That's why, that's why this whole thing with the Falcons, for me, in terms of quote unquote giving them respect, no. Because I'm not trying to give Falcons respect. I'm not giving anyone in that division, quote unquote, respect.
And that's why I'm gonna have to push back. But go ahead.
All of y'all are mid, and it's going to the person who wins that division is going to win 9 games. I said this before, and I'll say this again. I
still have to disagree with that.
I don't think the division winner of the NFC South wins more than 9 games.
I do want to say this. I do want to say this for me. You know, I'm at the beginning of the year, JJ knows, I was kind of clowning the Falcons because Desmond Ridder was terrible in the beginning of the year. Absolutely.
Mid. He was mid, not terrible yet.
Well, he was terrible. He was terrible. No, he was terrible. Then something happened after that Jaguars game, and he started doing something. He started doing this a little bit more. Doing a little bit more. And I was looking at this like, man, you see what happens when you do that a little bit more? Drake London proves he's a dog, and Kyle Pitts proves he's a dog. So the defense for the Falcons is obviously better than expected. The run
way
game
better. I already knew that though, but
run game is elite. I would say Drake London is a future, honestly, top 10 receiver in my opinion. Kyle Pitts, future top 3 tight end. Bijan Robinson, future, if not current, top 5 running back. The sky is the limit. And if Desmond Ridder actually keeps on throwing that ball, cuts out the mistakes, the reason why I won't say they're a fraud is because I think they're like a tier 3 in the NFC. Like Lions, Cowboys, and Seahawks are tier 2. And then the tier below them is the Falcons. And if that passing game clicks, I don't see why they couldn't beat a tier 2 team in the playoffs. I'm just saying, I don't see why it's
impossible. This team, I think this team is almost like a quarterback away. Because this team
and Trent, I never sat there and said after the season I still want Desmond Ridder to be my starting quarterback. That's not what I said. I said if that is the case, I will not be in sleeping, crying to myself to sleep, trying to think about what we're gonna do next season, thinking about who's gonna get the ball to our playmakers. The main thing that I disagree with Trey, and you saying that we're gonna win 9 games is it's crazy to me, bro. We're a top 5 defense in the league right now. I was saying top 7.
And their schedule is weak as hell. Their schedule is weak.
What do you mean what? Don't what me. They are ranked number 5 in the NFL right now as a defense.
Oh, so the NFL rankings.
No. Because
please don't use those NFL rankings, bro.
No.
Please don't use those.
No. I'll push. I said that. Look, that's what's already being pushed
top
out right
10
now.
is not crazy.
I'll go then to even further the narrative that we have not let up. We had the 3rd fewest rushing touchdowns let up in the league. On top of the fact that our pass defense, with the at the helm of who the captain of that pass defense is now, Jesse Bates, safety number 3 in the league, has been able to uplift this defense and make it even better than what it is. You know what I'm saying? All the signings that we made in the offseason, right? 3. Who's better? Who's better other than 2 people?
On, bro.
Derwin James and Minka Fitzpatrick. Those are the only 2 people that's better than him.
So you saying that Jesse Bates is better than Justin Simmons?
Yes, and it's not Justin Simmons is not showing is not proving his talent.
You think he's better than Kevin Byard?
Yes. Kevin Byard safety 4. I said that already.
JJ, you mean tell me what a straight face?
I'm not trolling. I'm not trolling when I say
Kevin Byard, man. No,
I'm not trolling. And that is crazy that y'all say that because look, Jesse Bates has been the main reason why so many things have been taken away. What about Micah Hyde?
All the safeties are like
Jordan Poyer is better than him on his own team. What are we talking about, bro? Stop talking. Don't talk to me about Micah Hyde.
I give you that. That's fair.
Yeah, I'll give you that one for sure. I'll give you that for sure.
Bro, either way, bro, no, this is not even a troll. I'm telling you, I'm not trolling when I say this. If you're actually watching Jesse Bates and seeing what he's doing, taking away so many different things that we were not able to do last season, and that's also that you're saying you can say, okay, why? Just because I didn't see it. Jesse Bates in Cincinnati when he was over there was doing the same thing. Why that defense was even staying to the way it was.
Kind of overrated in Cincinnati.
And no, you're saying he was overrated due to the personnel that he had around him. When they got in the playoffs, they still were locked down. They're handling business, right? Jesse Bates now got onto a team where better corner.
Safety in the league.
Jesse Bates now got on a team with a better secondary room, and he's saddened. That's why I'm not even accepting that right now. He got on a team with a better secondary. He got on a team.
He's playing like one.
Okay.
But
hold on, wait.
Either way, this defense is playing out of this line. We haven't let above 24 points in the game.
You said he's not top 5, period? Like, he's not top 5?
I don't think he's top 5. I don't think
is he in the conversation?
I don't have Jordan Poyer top 5.
Is he in the conversation?
He's literally
in the conversation for top 5.
I mean, you can say it.
I have always had Jesse Bates in my top 5 of safeties.
He's literally better than Jordan Poyer.
You said he's clearly better than Jordan Poyer?
He's literally better. Jordan Poyer is not having the impact that Jesse Bates is doing on the Falcons. I just tell you that right now. He isn't. He is not. No, I don't know how you want to spin it. You can look at me like that. You put Jordan Poyer in the position that Jesse Bates is, and Jesse Bates is on the Falcons. It's not the same. I don't care. It isn't. It is what it is, and that's the facts. Yeah, and sometimes we gotta accept that.
I mean,
Jordan Poyer is not better than Jesse Bates.
Jordan Poyer top 5 though.
Jordan, okay, that's cool. But you say he's not even better than Jordan Poyer. That's wrong, and that's actually very, very disingenuous who Jesse Bates is. Jesse Bates, what Jesse Bates is able to do on the field, being able to take away routes, being able to go lock down. He's doing great in the run game. He's doing great in the pass game. Okay, all right. Like I said, you can have that. You can have that to yourself, but I'm not.
But who's the 5 better? That's what I want to know. Who's the 5?
Okay, so Darren's clearly better. Minka's clearly better. Justin Simmons.
I don't agree with the Derwin part.
What?
Oh hell!
Just keep going. Just keep listening.
Yeah, do the last two.
Come on. Kevin Byard. Justin Simmons isn't better either.
Kevin Byard and who?
Buda Baker's not better than him either.
Buda Baker?
Like, bro, what are we talking about here, bro? I'm not gonna lie. Like, we're not having real conversations right now. You talking about Buda Baker's better than Jesse Bates right now.
Hold on.
Wow.
It's a conversation.
I'm not gonna hold you. Buda Baker is undervalued, and I think
he's good. I like Buda Baker. I love Buda Baker. He's not better.
He's not better than Jesse Bates, bro. He's not, bro.
All right. Let me
They're the same tier.
I'm actually kind of shocked because this is probably the first time that I've had a conversation about safeties, and somebody said Jesse Bates wasn't in the top 5. Like Jesse Bates,
I didn't think he was top 5 the last 2 years.
Sure, that's
okay. Cool. If you want to say the last 2 years,
okay, 2020, he definitely was like top 2. I'll give him that.
Yeah, like since he came into the,
just inconsistent. He's just inconsistent. Sorry to cut you off. I'm really sorry.
Okay, yeah, he's inconsistent sometimes, and I will say because of what he was asked to do in Cincinnati, because the way they play defense, specifically like they're playing in light boxes all the time, playing a shit ton of quarters and quarter half. Like sometimes he would get put in like tough situations. It's a hard ass for any safety, but the reason they felt comfortable doing that in Cincinnati is because he was that good. Like the film was like that, and it has been for years. Like for me, Jesse Bates probably the 3rd best safety in the league. I would have said Minka, Justin Simmons before this year, and all of that went straight.
Justin Simmons over Durham.
Yes, because the one thing that has always kind of bugged me about Derwin, one, you have to be healthy. Like they're two, like he's good, but he's also hurt a lot. And on top of that, I think he's being misused because he needs to be around the line of scrimmage. Like he's much more impactful around the line of scrimmage than he is in coverage. That's just how it always is. Like having him as a deep post safety, it's not great. And
that's why having him against Travis Kelce, that to prove your point, having him against Travis Kelce, because Travis Kelce is also always closer to the line in his routes. That's why Travis Kelce has such a hard time against Derwin James.
But that's what I'm saying. Like there are certain games where they use him the way he's supposed to be. Like the reason why he was drafted that high, the reason that like the thing that made him so special coming out of college is one play he was playing corner, the next play he was playing deep safety, the next play he's playing dime linebacker, the next play he's coming off the edge as a rusher. Like he was a Swiss Army knife. He wasn't a pure safety. He was a weapon. He was a chess piece. And when he got to San Diego, which turned into LA, they don't use him that way. It's very bland, and what they ask him to do, he's not the best at it. So because of that, no, I don't put him in that same category of like, I'll put like him and Buda Baker in terms of their career and their consistency have kind of been like right there. The only difference is Derwin has much more notoriety because he was a higher draft pick coming out of college. And because people kind of watch the way he plays and the way he hits people, they're like, oh yeah, give me that guy. But if we're being honest, him and Buda Baker are a lot closer than what people would like to admit. Like, no, I don't have Derwin James up there as a top 3 safety. I think he's really good. Don't get me wrong. But over Jesse Bates, no. Sorry.
Yeah, you're going to take that.
And so, hey, bro, I'm not going to lie. I want to say this. It's, honestly speaking, Trey, this is why I said I still don't agree. We already established that the NFC South, as a whole, we were very mid last year too when it came to the records. People want to say we're the worst division. We weren't actually, and we still aren't now. So I don't know why you were saying that either. Undisputed. That just I don't work with that. That doesn't make sense to me. Especially when the AFC South was a division last year and the AFC West is a division now. So honestly speaking, we have one of the easiest schedules in the league.
West has Patrick Mahomes. Like I said,
okay, that
we do not
have
one
player can make a team great, but I'm talking about the entire division. Patrick Mahomes is not the entire division. Okay,
I know, and that's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is we do not have
the Chargers can be arguably better, but what are they right now, bro? The Buccaneers in terms of
let's finish.
Go ahead.
We do not have any elite quarterbacks, any type of world beater quarterbacks in our division. We have a team that's 0-5.
That's cool. That is cool. Tell me about the other 3 teams in the division.
We just earlier in the year, I had New Orleans winning the division. Look what they're doing now.
You're not a Falcons fan. No way. No way.
Again,
you can say you're a sports fan. You can say you're a sports fan.
Crazy to say.
Trent, you know what I was talking. Trent, you know how I was talking though. I was telling you what it was and what it isn't, and look what's going on right now. I was not capping about the stuff I was saying. And so that's crazy to me. Like, bro, come on, bro.
We have 0 elite quarterbacks in that division. We have
having an elite quarterback does not. Go ahead.
Again, so a quarterback don't make a team.
A quarterback can make a team, but I'm saying a quarterback doesn't make the division. For having multiple elite quarterbacks does not make your division trash or mid or whatever. That's not the case.
Are you sure about that?
I'm positive. Bro,
okay, we have no elite quarterbacks.
We can look at the NFC West right now. They got Geno Smith, they got Brock Purdy up there, they got Matthew Stafford, and then I'm forgetting the last team. What the heck? And they got Josh Dobbs. And that we don't hear nobody calling that division trash, mid, nothing, because it's the LA Rams, the San Francisco 49ers, the Seattle Seahawks, and the Arizona Cardinals.
We have 3 teams in our division with losing records outside of the Atlanta Falcons. It's because those other divisions are winning.
That's true.
Am I right or wrong?
Fair point, man.
I mean, that's not. You can't.
I'm not denying that. But look, right now, aren't the Bucks? The Bucks just went on a bye week. The Bucks just went on a bye week, so they're not even with a losing record. I'm pretty sure that 500.
They're 3-3.
Yeah, the New Orleans Saints are 3-4. 3-4 is not some record where you got just because you have a 3-4 record. I'm not gonna sit here and try to be all disingenuous.
Look at how
you got multiple teams
with
losing records. No, that's just disingenuous.
Look at how sputtering the New Orleans Saints offense was at the beginning of that game. Look at how sputtering their offense was.
Okay, you're not firing Dennis Allen. You're not acknowledging what I just said, though. At the end of the day, having an elite quarterback in your division and that boosts your division for sure. It makes your division a tougher division because you have that team right there. But it does not make your entire division trash, mid, or it makes it mid, but it doesn't make it trash at all. Like
football, though.
Right now,
it would worst division in football
between the NFC North and the NFC West.
NFC North, they have the Lions and the Vikings.
Okay, what are the Vikings doing right now?
Go ahead. 3-4.
By his logic, they had 3 teams with a losing record, right?
JJ, are y'all not one of the worst teams in not one of the worst divisions in football? Yes or no?
Right now, I mean, one of the worst. If you
last year, y'all was the worst. I think.
No, we were not in my opinion. That's an opinion. I just told you the AFC South was worse than us. If you go look at the AFC South, they were literally worse.
Jaguars made the playoffs.
Hey, but what's the name?
Hey, that's what I was trying to finish that. And he kept talking about that. Let me just get this off with the trade thing. I swear.
I will say this though, like the Saints are like three. They're like 2 or 3 plays away of being like 6-1.
Okay, right now. Trey, what I was trying to say about that the 9 wins, that's nonsense to me. I'm not gonna lie, because honestly speaking, this is what I wanted to go to. Is the fact that whether or not we want to acknowledge it, and that's why I still said we are one of the worst, but I didn't think we were the worst, is the fact that we still multiple teams in our division have some of the easiest records in the league remaining, right? Including us. The Saints or the Panthers had the easiest one, depending. I forgot who was, but they did. But you see what's going on with the Panthers, so it didn't matter. With us going into what we're doing, like I said, the way we're playing, not allowing above 24 points, and our offense looking like it's trying to click and it's looking like it's getting there, I honestly believe we're not going to fall short of we're not going to fall short of 10 wins. I think we're going to hit 10, and if we go for 11, that's an achievement. That's an overachievement in my opinion. And so, in going to the next season, it's going to make us that much better. But I don't agree with that.
I think y'all. I ain't gonna lie, man. Looking at y'all schedule, I think y'all can get 11 wins, bro. I ain't gonna care.
Yeah, the schedule does look a little weak. If Desmond Ridder, if he keeps upping his play, I mean, bro.
But what's the number one reason we see that schedule is weak? Because the division sucks.
Because of the NFC
let's be real with it.
Because it was that division had a bunch of people with the same record, in which I'm not gonna disagree. I say it was one of the worst, but don't come out here and start saying
okay, if it's not the worst.
All right, so.
I'm not gonna get mad about that.
We're gonna move on just a little bit. We're gonna got probably a few more topics, probably 2 more, and we're gonna head up out of here.
Holy shit, we're at 2 hours.
Yeah, we are. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I'm saying. So we can run through this quickly. Because I want Champ, you can have your camera on quick, so I can at least get you the clip for this. Because I know you had a Lions take. So
yeah,
Ravens dog walk the Lions.
Yeah,
and for my standpoint, I'm starting to lean on the standpoint that maybe Jared Goff is actually starting to look like a good quarterback again. He better not ever do me wrong like that ever again, bro. You bet, bro. He played like dude, garbage. But Champ, let me ask you this: Are the Lions overrated?
Yes.
Why is
they
that?
are? And the thing is, here's the thing, and I put this as a video yesterday, and I will say this verbatim: the only team they beat of consequence was the Chiefs.
Off a fluke.
Whenever you had another team like the Seahawks beat them. The Baltimore Ravens beat them. And if you look at the second half of that season that they have coming up, they don't play another playoff contender until the Cowboys.
What week is that?
And I think that's week 16, right before the 17th game.
I'll check right now.
So, yes, they haven't beaten any team that's really competitive that we're going to see in the playoffs. Like I said, the only reason why they were able to eke out a win against the Kansas City Chiefs, they were missing their defensive MVP and Travis Kelce.
So you're basically
when they faced the Seattle Seahawks, you saw they lost. When you saw they faced the Baltimore Ravens with that stifling defense, they blew them out of the water. And they're about to play a lot of low-tier teams on the second half of the season, including in their own division.
So you basically saying that they're 5-1, but they not 5-1 good type team.
They're not 5-1 good.
Well, like my thing about the Lions, I don't think anyone was calling them like a top 4 team like at all.
Smith was.
That
is cap. J-Rob was
cap because you know why, Karen? Everybody was saying it was the Eagles, 49ers, Cowboys, then the Lions. So everybody's been saying that.
Well, yeah, and I still think that holds true.
And I think it does.
I still think that holds true.
In the NFC, yeah, I think they're the 4th best team in the NFC. I'm talking about like a top 4 team in the NFL.
Oh no.
Oh no.
But here's the thing, though. This is why I don't understand, and this is what I don't like, right? Because they have a good record. I don't understand how we can sit here and say, are they overrated? When I've been on the train for over a year now that they would win the division this year, and everyone was saying I was nuts. Everyone was saying it's the Lions. Blah. You're just trying to get on the hype train. I don't understand how you can so overhype a team that everyone was down on to begin with.
That's really true. To be fair, you spitting right now, bro. I can't even cap because that's what I was.
To be fair,
I need to grab the mic.
I kind of feel like
most of the predictions I saw like this year, a lot of people picked the Vikings to win it.
Yeah,
I said the Vikings were going to fall off a cliff. I said the Vikings were going to suck.
And it's crazy.
I said the Vikings were 6-11.
The Vikings are not going 6-11.
I said the Bears were going to be lucky to get 6 games.
Riddell, go ahead.
Hold on. All right. So the reason why I'm saying the Lions is overrated is because just like the Cowboys, this is literally the same exact thing with the Cowboys, where people were trying to put the Lions in the tier with the Eagles and the 49ers. And my biggest thing when it came down to it, when it came down to the Lions, is like, who are you when you can't do what you do best? Run the ball.
They're not. Dude, who is putting them in the same tier as the 49ers and the Eagles? They were putting them in the same tier as the Cowboys and the Seahawks. That's who they've been with.
Bro, the same way how y'all said that people thought that they weren't going to win a division. There are also people right now saying that 5-1 that they might be in the tier with the 49ers and the Cowboys and the Eagles.
No, they're on the tier with the Cowboys. They're on the tier with the Cowboys and the Seahawks. That's where they are. The 49ers and the Eagles are exponentially better. Exponentially better.
People that say that just don't have common sense. I'm just going to be honest.
So that's why I have to say they're overrated. And let's be very clear.
And Riddell, to that point,
I want to be very clear here. The Lions, there's no guarantee the Lions are winning this division now. The Vikings are right there. Two of their losses were against the 2 best teams in the NFL, in the Eagles and the Chiefs.
Okay. Y'all doing that, but it's
they also lost to Baker Mayfield.
I'm not.
Everybody got a bad loss. They lost by 3.
The Vikings. Hey, respect to the Vikings. They went out there, they balled out, and they took a game away from an elite team. Everyone knows there's outliers in the NFL. If they can continue to do this, then they got it. But I don't care. That defense is one of the worst in the NFL. They on the offensive end. They have multiple times. They have multiple chances to overcome that defense. They couldn't. And so this is one of the weeks where they did. And do you think I'm going to sit there and keep on betting on the team to overcome that bad of a defense? No, I'm not. And they're talking about trading away some of their players on that defense. I'm not doing that. No, you're not going to do that. The Packers and the Lions was one of the two teams I said was gonna go up in that division. And what are they doing right now? Doing exactly what I said about them, and even what Sports Talk said about the Lions. If you didn't have the Lions winning the division this year, then you were just joking because you were watching football last year. We were all watching football last year. We saw what they did down the stretch. We saw how good the offense was. We saw how good Ben Johnson was as an OC. We saw what Jared Goff was doing again compared to what he did in LA in his last few years, and it was kind of crazy. They just added David Montgomery, who's a better version of Jamal Williams. Actually, really is the better overall. I'm not gonna lie. And then you have Jahmyr Gibbs, who's just a dynamic player, and he has now been able to showcase that even in that bad loss. So when we go down and keep on looking at Amon-Ra St. Brown, great player. He can get you. You can get him the ball. He's gonna be able to make something happen with it. Josh Reynolds has been able to be a solid option for them this year. You know what I'm saying? So let's be real.
That O line is no joke.
No, they got
that O-line is no joke.
The defense that people thought that didn't really change, their defense looks like it stepped up in a sense. Aiden Hutchinson looked better. You know what I'm saying? And that's what you want to see.
Better. But
the Vikings.
I want to say
what? The crazy thing is that once you take away the stuff that the Lions can't bank on when it comes down to Aiden Hutchinson getting to the quarterback and you're running the ball with this elite offensive line, they look mid.
The Vikings are talking about trading away Kirk Cousins, and you're trying to tell me you still have belief in them?
Hold on, wait.
Yes.
Let
last word.
Let me say this. I'm not gonna lie. I think a stat came out the other day where it was like the Lions' last 16, 17 games, they have like 12-4 or 12-5, something along those lines. Like this isn't something that just started this year, bro. This team has been progressing throughout the entire, you feel me, last 2 years. And I gotta get Jared Goff.
They're a good team. I agree.
I gotta give Jared Goff his due. I thought Jared Goff was going to be cooked when he went to the Lions. I thought they would let him out there to die, but he's gotten better. And not only has he gotten better, Dan Campbell, I told people when Dan Campbell got signed, he gonna find a way to turn his team around, bro.
Thanks.
And
I'm not gonna lie.
But the reason being I say all those things now is because the Lions are doing something that any good team can. Whenever you have a good team, these good teams need to have this. They can run the ball and they can play defense. Whenever you have that, you're going to be fine, bro. Especially in their division. Like the Vikings, a bottom 5 defense. The Bears, a fucking joke. And then the Packers, they're battling injuries. Like there's no way the Vikings.
Can't wait.
It's not.
I can't wait either. Because then I'm like, Riddell. No, you know what? No, because Riddell, because you know how I get. I go straight to tagging you. When the Lions beat the Vikings in dominant fashion, I'm gonna go on here and I'm gonna tag you. I'm gonna hit you up. And I'm gonna let you know what's up. Because it is what it is. This is going to happen. It is.
I can't wait.
I also think like
to do to dominate the Vikings. Stop it.
All right, man.
Hey, hold on. We gonna see. Hey, hold on. Time out. We gonna see.
I can't wait. It's until the end of the year, though. It's gonna be a while.
We got some speed up. On the flip side, though, shout out Lamar. Playing a great game. He probably is the MVP front runner right now.
Mahomes can't win it anymore.
Maybe it still look like CMC a little bit.
Can we give it one more week? Because like I feel like there's a lot of guys that can like. I think Mahomes can win it. I mean, if it was me, I would vote Myles Garrett for MVP. But I know that.
Yeah, we gonna facts. We gonna get to that.
Okay, wait.
Yeah, we can talk about.
Wait, let's not skip. Wait, hold on.
No, I'm saying the reason why I'm saying that because
So Tua not gonna get no love.
This is the last topic that we about to do because I'm gonna. I think I know your answer.
Wait, I don't want to skip over Lamar for a second.
Oh,
yeah.
I don't want to skip.
Yeah, he bought out. Yeah, he went crazy.
Yeah, he deserves praise. Yeah.
I don't want to skip over that because obviously because of who we do shows with, I've been having to argue this, and also because of where I work at. One of the little side projects I've been doing is every week I watch the Ravens because their offensive coordinator is the former offensive coordinator for the Georgia Bulldogs, who are a direct rival of the team that I work for. So I've watched Lamar every game this year. A lot of the stuff that has been said about this dude in the national media and by some of the folks that we know and have to do shows with is pure BS and narrative, because I'm not going to sit here and say that this offense looks like the greatest thing since sliced bread. It doesn't. Conceptually, it's not great, but it's also way better than what Greg Roman's doing. Like, it's a real NFL, like, comprehensive passing game. And he's playing really well in it. And not only that, it's not just like, oh, okay, it's typical Lamar being dynamic, making plays here and there. Like, no, like he's literally in the pocket, completing passes and doing it at a high level. We can't just skip over it. Because everybody, even after the MVP year and all the like the consistent production and the film, it's always like, and no, he's doing it this year. Folks need to give him his due.
Can I say something about Lamar? That's a good point.
I'll
give my thoughts about Lamar.
Go ahead, Karen. I'll let you go.
I thought Lamar played great. I just like, I'm not saying he has to be that level, but like, I'm just saying like
he might have to be that level to win.
Yeah, like I know the Lions are like good team, but like since he's like best teams in the league, like he's got to play like that. Like that was one of the best games I ever seen him play My one issue though is that I hate the switch up that like, oh, look at the weapons that Lamar has now after one game. I want to see it more consistently. So I'm seeing a lot of people say that, like, look how the weapons played for Lamar. Like, I still don't trust the Ravens as like I still don't take the Ravens seriously. But like, I'll give Lamar his credit. He played great. Defense played great, but I don't see them as a Super Bowl contender still.
Let me say that I want to add on what Trey was saying, man. I think a lot of people just go off of the narratives that are painted by the media or just a few bad games here and there. They ignore context of a lot of situations. Fact is, the year after Lamar had won his, well, not the year after, 2 years after that, when he won his MVP, he led the league in completion percentage of outside throws, and a lot of people simply ignored that because they weren't, quote unquote, winning the big games or whatever the case may be, when they ignored the fact that his receiver core, since he's been in the league, was arguably the worst receiver core in the league. Let's just call it what it is. Like, you got return specials out there, Devin Duvernay, Rashad Bateman hurt every other week. They just went and signed a cooked Odell Beckham. Zay Flowers, I think Zay Flowers would be a stud in this league, but he's a rookie. He's a rookie.
Zay Flowers, the dude.
Yeah, Zay Flowers is going to be a stud in this league. So outside of Mark Andrews, there's literally haven't been any other consistency around him his entire career. And we're talking about from the running backs to the offensive line to the coordinators. Mm-hmm. It's been bad. And a lot of people just glossed over that and ignored that because they said he's that special, he's that dynamic of a player that he should correct it. And I'm not saying it shouldn't be moments where he shouldn't, but the fact that they asked of him year in and year out is crazy to me. And that's another reason why it kills me and blows my mind that people continuously just hand every excuse they can to other quarterbacks. But Lamar never got a pass. He never got one.
Well, the thing about
always his fault.
That's fair.
Well, I think the reason why like no one really talks about the running backs that much is that like even regardless, like even if they have a good running back or not, if you put a running back in that system, they're still always going to be one of the best rushing like teams in the league. So I don't think the running backs are mainly an issue. It's definitely like more like consistent like wide out play. Like they just don't have that number 2 guy with Mark Andrews because like Mark Andrews is definitely the best weapon on that offense.
Yes, still
they have it now. I would say.
Yeah, they have.
Like they have it, but they don't because like I saw like the previous weeks and like they didn't look that good. I'm not saying
Flowers had some good games, and OBJ's been injured.
I'm not saying like Zay Flowers. I'm not saying that Zay Flowers wasn't good. He was good. I'm talking about the like other guys because like you can't just have like 2 guys and like win anymore.
Well, okay. This is what I'll say about the offense because again, I've been watching them every week, and because I've liked Lamar Jackson since he was a freshman, so I followed his entire career. The one thing that I gave the people who were Lamar detractors or people who had criticisms of Lamar was, well, hey, you're saying he's got like he needed weapons. He's got weapons now. My whole thing was, I never said he needed the best weapons. I just said he needed some weapons. And this year, he got some. They're not the best, but he got some. And right now, like they're not playing consistently at this level. But if you can get them to click, specifically if you can get Mark Andrews to continue to play the way he's been playing, and you get Zay Flowers to be more consistent and get him to eventually take over the role as that dynamic guy that can kind of give Lamar some of those layups in an offense that some of these other quarterbacks have. Like, I guess maybe outside of Patrick Mahomes because he ain't got nobody no more outside of Travis Kelce. But like, if you can give him that kind of support with what they're doing, like I said, their offensive scheme, it's not like they're not reinventing the wheel. It's not great. But what it is a real NFL passing offense as opposed to what he was playing with under Greg Roman, who had been running the same offense that he ran since he was with the freaking Niners and Jim Harbaugh. So, like, I hear you, but I also have to look behind you, Kieran, and see that flag behind you.
No, the thing that like pissed me off, like before the Lions game, is that like I felt like they like weren't throwing the ball deep that much, and that's why I thought they like lost some of the games that they did against like the Colts, the Steelers. But like I just want this offense to like be like more spread out because like they got the quick game down, they got the middle of the game. They just don't. I just don't think they have that. Like
they definitely need to be more consistent. The only thing I want to say is like at the very least, the Ravens are winning games, and it's good that they beat the Bengals the first game before the Bengals start picking, because that's going to be a huge game for the home field advantage for the playoffs. Ravens are in good position. They're beating the right teams. Like listen to the Steelers. I mean, it doesn't matter. Steelers.
Fuck you.
So beating the Bengals does matter. So you know they in good position.
Yeah. Beating the Steelers matters too. We own that, yes.
Yeah, no, they actually do. But
look,
I'm
about to say before we leave, I'm gonna just give the Steelers the respect.
Yeah, facts. They're actually 4-2, bro. We're gonna talk about the Steelers next week, bro. That's ridiculous.
Rivalry always matter. I don't care how bad either team is. That rivalry will always matter. So gotta give them the respect on that.
All right, for sure. So that's gonna wrap it up because I know we had a few more topics, but we can just say that for the next week because you know it's a hectic week always. But I appreciate y'all.
Gotta get me on that, Trent.
Yeah, facts. Appreciate you, JJ Riddell, though, Champ, Last Warrior Sports. I appreciate all y'all coming out. Make sure y'all tune in tomorrow for the college football show. That's gonna be lit. That's gonna be fire. Got some crazy matches coming into the week. And then Friday, we finally got another book for the VIP room. Sterling Shepard will be coming back on the show.
Okay.
We're gonna be talking about it. We're gonna be talking about the preview versus the game versus the Jets because you know that's
that dude Tyrod Taylor, bro.
That's gonna be a hectic game. I'm gonna be in Jersey with them boys. So
nice.
So we out though, bro. Peace.
Hey, man.
See you guys.